And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, DOGE is continuing to shrug along. It's continuing to do what it has to do to get all the fraud, waste, and abuse out of the government. And of course, the deep state, the mainstream media, all the politicals fattening their pockets are against it. The federal workers don't want to send a 2-second email to say what they did last week. They don't want any kind of accountability. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Reid got fired from MS-13 DNC. So did many of her so-called person of color, colored, non-white counterparts. Rachel Maddow got mad, but she's not going to leave the money on the table from her show. I'll tell you that. Hey, there will be no Rachel Maddow walkout of MS-13 DNC. You're not going to leave 20 M's per year on the table. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Ilhan Omar and Jasmine Crockett and a lot of the left love calling Americans stupid for some reason, as if that'll help them get votes, as if that'll help the Democratic Party go forward in a positive way. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Eric Adams is closing 53 migrant shelters in the city in the year 2025. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on tonight. First of all, I want to say it is hot as a pistol in here. What is going on with the weather? It was like 77 degrees a day in East Tennessee, close to Georgia. It was like, man, can we fire up the grill, get the pool out? It's not even March yet. I feel like we're going to have an early spring, and I can't wait. I'm not looking forward to cutting that grass already, but hey, man, it is what it is. I'm about to go out there. Listen, I'm about to go fire my lawnmower up tomorrow. My grass is looking a mess already. It's like I can't get a little break from the cutting season, but anyway, I got to sharpen that lawnmower blade up, go out there and tackle it. I want to replace my shrubs and do all that kind of stuff that I was supposed to do last season, but didn't. Might as well go ahead and do it now. Yes, the grass is already 77. It's hot. I'm busting. I have no heat on in here, no nothing. I'm about to open. I had the windows open, and it's been like that for a while, and it's not really going to get too much cooler. It's pretty much going to stay like in the 60s, and then it'll hit 70, and then it'll be hot until November. 37 and rain where you are. Well, hey, I'm glad I'm not where you are. Shout out to you, man. Hopefully everything's all good and that rain don't turn to ice. You mowed yesterday in North Carolina. Wow. That's crazy, ain't it, Lloyd? That's wild. Let me see. Zephyr K9 says we're in for another storm out west. What hits us heads east. Hey, I rebuke that. I rebuke that storm. By the time it gets over here, passing all these mountains and whatnot, it'll probably just be rain. All that's going to do is just make the grass go. Hey, it's going to be rain and sunshine. That'll make the grass grow faster. That's all that's going to happen. All right. My Flow Beat said 65 in Virginia. It was 70 in San Francisco today. Extreme heat wave. 69 in Vegas. Now, what they're going to do on television is say, oh, this is an example of global warming. But yesterday was climate change. And if it gets to be too cold, then they'll say, what? They won't say global cooling, because it can't have global warming and global cooling exist simultaneously. They could say global warming and climate change, but not global warming, global cooling, and climate change. They got to pick one of the extreme temperatures to focus on, which is the warming, and then they focus on just when you have crazy weather events by calling it climate change, which is the dumbest thing in the world, because climate always changes. It's called seasons. Okay, if what they say is true, that we are a spinning ball flying through space and everything else is the same way, maybe there might be some fluctuations in weather just based on that. I'm just saying. Okay. We're not going to have the exact same weather every single day of every single year. It's not that way. But anyway, yeah, shout out to the global cooling, global warming, climate change. When it rains, snows. It was just snowing like last week. We had snow on the ground like a week or two ago. It was snowing, and now we got this. So yeah, shout out to you guys having a good weather day. It is hot as fish grease, hot as a pistol. It is hot as Joe Biden's collar when he watches. I ain't gonna say that joke right now. That might be a teeny bit inappropriate, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Microphone got fixed. I got my cord. I got my cable because last week I had little problems with the audio. Last time I did the podcast, I had problems with the audio. But now my cable is fixed. Everything's good to go. Went to Guitar Center, hooked myself right on up. And I got one from Sweetwater as well. That's going to be in the mail for a backup. So in case this one fails, I have another one to back me up. So we're good to go. All right. Hold on. NERN says Al Gore has warm pools year round. Yeah. Al Gore got one of the craziest carbon footprints of any human in this country, yet goes around the world in private jets and stuff like this, talking about how bad climate change is. Well, it's like, sir, if climate change is so bad and carbon footprints are a thing we got to regulate your own carbon footprint. You got this big mega mansion and you flying private. How much jet fuel do you consume per year by yourself, Al Gore? Most Americans can never consume as much fuel as you do, but yet you want to impose restrictions on average Americans to consume less than what they do. But you're special, right, Al Gore, because you're the elite and you know better. That's the typical attitude the left has over us that I don't like. A lot of your people, a lot of your Jasmine Crockett's, Ilhan Omar, all these people on the left, they feel like, well, we know better than you. You guys are the dumb ones. You guys are uneducated, living in red states. You don't know anything. And as a matter of fact, hold on. I have this chart here that I wanted to show a little bit later, but I'm going to show it right now. Before we get to anything, do I have the chart up already or not? See, I didn't have it up. Oh, there we go. So look, this is from New York Times. Okay. And let me put it up on a bigger screen here. Okay, perfect. That'll work. This is from New York Times. Look at what they say about migration habits in this country from one state to another. It says, which U.S. states attract the most new residents? More than 7 million Americans moved to a different state in 2023. Many of them headed south, according to a report tracking net migration. So net migration, you're talking about people, they leave and then they arrive. So this is going to be, after all people leave and arrive, this is going to be the number of people that are new, more than what they had before. So look, Texas is number 1, Florida number 2, North Carolina number 3, South Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Indiana, Colorado, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Now, these are the top 10 states where Americans are moving to, or where they moved to in 2023. Now, out of these 10 states, only one is a blue state, and that's Colorado. All the others are red states. But yet, these people say, oh, well, red states suck, they're poor, all this, that, and the third. Okay, if we're so bad, then stay where you are. Stay in California. Stay in Illinois. Stay in New York. Stay over there if it's so bad. And this has been a thing that's been going on for years and years and years. I used to hate it when I was a kid because we got a lot of those New York boys that come to Virginia. Oh, yo, what does Bond be? Virginia sucks, B. I'm going to go back to the Brooklyn Bronx, B. I was like, all right, well, look, you could take your Timberland boots and your funny accent back to Red Hook, Brooklyn. How about that? Take all that stuff back there since we so bad in backwater and country and poor, all this, that, and the third. Go back to your brick city. Go back to your rodents the size of kangaroos. You understand what I'm saying? So I've been hearing the same thing. People complaining about the red state they moved to from a blue state. It's like, well, look, you got a couple options. There are options here. If you don't like red states, number 1, stop moving there. And number 2, fix the state in which you left. fix the city in which you left. But ultimately, if you can't fix where you live, if you have to leave and go down to a red state, we want you to be quiet, don't complain, and also don't bring your politics from that state with you. Don't bring the California isms to Arkansas. Don't bring your New York isms to Virginia. Keep that stuff over there. When in Rome, do as the Romans. Take them Timberland boots off when you go down to the beach, okay? Look, you're not working construction down there when you're building sandcastles, okay? You could put on a pair of flip-flops or just be barefoot. You don't need Timberland boots to build a sandcastle down the beach. Keep your weird habits over there. When in Rome, do as the Romans. That's all I say. That's all I say. And if you could do that, we could live in harmony. We could live in peace, and it's all good. It is all good. So yeah, shout out to all the red states that all these people say they hate, but yet they can't get enough of. They can't get enough of it. And if you're in the blue state right now and you're trying to make a difference, shout out to you. If you're in the blue state and you're just not like your neighbors, the weirdo leftists, shout out to you. We're praying for you because we know you're behind enemy lines. All right, but we got a whole lot going on. Thank y'all for being here yet again. I definitely appreciate y'all. We got a whole lot of clips. Oh, there's so much stuff going on. My goodness. I am very happy with what Trump has done so far. If not for nothing else, I like what he's done to the mainstream media and to the politicians. I love seeing them crash out every day. The only negative thing about having the media crash out every day, melting down every day, the negative about that is they impact normies. Normies don't know no better. Whenever their favorite news reporter is upset, then they get upset. And then they take that out on other people around them. Friends, family, loved ones. It's like, look, that person on TV is basically an actor. Okay, they're an actor and they say things a certain way to get you riled up so you watch. You know, it's called hate watching. Regardless of whether you watch because you love it or watch because you hate it, they're still going to get paid regardless. Same thing with me. Listen, I'm not trying to engage in rage bait. I'm going to just call things the way I see it. Whether people love it or hate it, it doesn't matter. I'm going to always stand on honesty. However, some people don't like what I say. They don't like my honesty. They don't like the fact that I'm black and I'm talking about conservative stuff. That's totally fine. They watch me, been watching for years. They are just as much fans as those who like my content. Listen, people on my Facebook page especially, they're notorious for this. They're on my page for, I'm talking about a decade, literally. More than that, before I started doing YouTube, I see some of the same people hating on every post for 10 years. Now, and I'm not exaggerating, literally 10 years. If you've been on my page, if you've been watching my videos for that long and you just don't like anything, I consider you to be a fan still. And all I'm going to say to that kind of person is, hey, just get your mind right, get your mind together. And if you don't want to get your mind right, at least watch me, even if you hate, because maybe something I say will trigger something in you to act right. Maybe out of my 5,000 or so videos, you didn't hate it, 90% of them, but that 10% could have made an impact on your life. Maybe I made an off-color comment talking about big backs and you weigh 1,000 pounds covered in bortsch, and maybe that hit you. Maybe you weigh 975 pounds, and rather than bortsch, you eating salt-covered soul food all day long. If what I said hit you and you stopped weighing 975 pounds and you went down to 465, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. But before I go too far into anything, shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Please go to the merch store, and we got brand new merch coming. Yes, we do. We got some brand new hot merch on the way. Okay, matter of fact, hold on. Do I have one of my, I want to show a hat, but I'm not quite sure I have it on my store yet. It should be there, but we got a whole bunch of new merch coming. Shout out to you guys who have been buying the things that I have here. Been up there for a while, but we're going to do a whole new update with new things. But that's ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. And I do have another hat I'm going to upload that, and then you'll see some more new stuff coming out like this week, because I already got it. I just got to put it on and update it. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY. The letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each video that I produce, I also write an article myself. And in that article, I'll have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're speaking to me on the interwebs or not, do a little bit of common sense, okay? I'm not going to be in the comment section talking about I got Bitcoin, I got Forex, I got get rich quick, send me a gift card, I'll send you back a diamond or a pearl. Okay, this ain't Prince, this ain't get rich quick, this ain't Vegas, this ain't no slot machine. I don't have anything like that for you. What I want you guys to do is use some discernment and check the method of communication. They're going to send you a 1,000-digit WhatsApp number from a sketchy email or phone number. That's not me. Okay, I don't have it. My email is very easy to remember. contact@anthonyblogan.com. And if you ever forget, just go to the website. It'll be right there on the contact page. Real easy. All right, but don't respond to the comments of people who have my picture and a name that looks like mine talking about some send me the gift card to this address. I will make you a millionaire. I will bless you forever. Don't do that, because it's not me. He gonna sound just like that. Or he'll sound like Luka Doncic, one of these Southern European basketball players, okay? But he don't play no basketball. He has no money. All he has to his name is a goat, some porridge, and the babushka in the back, cooking up that borscht, making this dude about 1,200 pounds. Okay, this guy weighs as much as an anvil that they had on the old Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoons. You understand what I'm saying? So let's not get scammed. It's 2025. We don't have time for that. We're trying to get money. We're trying to go out in this world and really make something of ourselves. We don't want to get scammed, robbed, finagled, bamboozled, or anything like that in this year, 2025. All righty. Yeah. Hey, the scamming is crucial. They almost got me. I promise. Look, they came that close to getting ABL, but they couldn't do it. But I'm going to tell you what happened quickly. So there's a scam going around. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. There's a scam going around right now targeting YouTubers. So you'll get an email where it says, okay, you've been sent a private video on YouTube. And then the video says it's from YouTube monetization, and you have to fill out this paperwork in order to continue to be monetized. Now I'm like, that don't sound right. I'm just looking into it because off the rip, it's sketchy. I'm skeptical. I'm looking at it and I see it on my phone. It's a DocuSign, but it's blurry. It's talking about something you got to go to desktop. Right away, I know it's BS because I've signed documents on my phone. Like I said, I have the pen in my phone for that purpose, to sign documents. I've done it before on my phone with DocuSign. So I knew this was sketchy off the rip. I go to my desktop and it downloads a EXE. I'm like, a program to sign DocuSign. If I was to run the program, it would have stolen my YouTube account. So they came, well, they didn't really almost get me. They tried to get me and I discovered it before it could do anything. All right. So yeah, moral of the story is be careful out here. The scammers are in full force. They're getting more advanced. They're using AI, all of that stuff. Look, if you are suspicious about some kind of bank situation, look, let's say you get an email from your bank allegedly talking about some, Send this document over, give us your social. Hey, y'all know how I do. I'm on the phone right away. Me speak to the manager of the bank. This is not right. I don't have the. I got the email. It's not the correct email. I'm gonna be on the phone right away, ASAP, right away. And if I can't get through them on the phone, I'm gonna go to the actual place. I'm gonna go to the bank physically in person. Like, yo, I got this email. Hey, is this y'all right here? I got this email. What's going on? That's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, please be careful. Don't get scammed. 2025. Anyway, now speaking about money and not getting scammed, shout out to all the countries who are investing in the good old US of A because of our new administration. Rather than just robbing us blind, taking money from us, dumping their garbage into our economy like China does. Rather than doing that, they're investing into our economy. Okay, look, Apple commits to $500 billion U.S. investment under Trump. Okay, $500 billion over 4 years, 50% more than Trump's first term. Let's watch some of this here.
$1 trillion. That's the largest ever U.S. spending plan for the world's biggest company, and it comes with thousands of new jobs across multiple states. Now, as you mentioned, we knew this was coming as President Trump teased it on Friday, and then Apple CEO Tim Cook was at the White House on Thursday. Apple is spending 50% more this year in 2025 than it did during the first Trump term. So $500 billion over 4 years this time, 4 years. Not 5 years like they usually do. 20,000 new jobs, a new AI server factory in Houston, Texas. And that's significant for Apple, who tends to farm out their AI server needs to third-party providers like AWS. Also, you got a new Detroit Academy, doubling their research and development fund. Now, Apple CEO Tim Cook says we're bullish on the future of American innovation, and we're proud to build on our long-standing U.S. investments. Now, Apple tends to roll out these type of massive U.S. investment plans every few years, but this is the biggest one yet. And it's also 45% more than what they committed during the Biden term in 2021. Now, some of this can be also attributed to the higher spend in this new AI arms race that we're in, where Apple has to keep up with everybody else who's boosting their AI spending by at least 20% this year. Apple also tells me, Maria, that they are now the largest customer of the $12 billion Arizona chip factory from TSMC, which also just started shipping chips last month. Remember that Apple stock, though, still underperforming this year, and that's because of concerns on those increased China tariff threats of another 10%. Now, they got a waiver last time. This time, you heard President Trump say, as great a negotiator as Tim Cook is, Apple may not be as lucky. But Maria, as you know, if someone's written the textbook when it comes to dealing with the Trump administration from the corporate side, it's Tim Cook at Apple.
So there we go. Shout out to Tim Apple. Shout out to the American company Apple, investing quite a bit of money in America. Now, I want Apple to succeed and do well because they are an American company. So I'm not going to root against them. But to be totally honest, I'm not necessarily I ain't going to say I'm not a big fan of Apple products. I do have some of their products. I have an iPhone and I have an Apple Watch. I like the Apple Watch more than anything. That's probably my favorite thing that they make. I don't like the Apple computers. The desktops, laptops, iPads, that's not really my thing. I don't use tablets. I use my phone as a tablet, I suppose. And as far as cell phones, I have an iPhone just for friends and family. That's it, for FaceTime and the blue text and all that kind of good stuff. But as far as the actual phone, look, so like I say, this is my iPhone right here, and this is my Samsung. The Samsung is newer. This is a S25 Ultra. This is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. The Samsung phone is better than the iPhone, in my opinion. For me, working on it and being a big tech guy, nerdy type of guy, the Samsung is leaps and bounds better than the iPhone. Even the S22 I had, which was the same year as that one, it was still better. It better productivity, better data management, just overall better for me personally. Some may think differently. That's just my humble opinion. And I think quite a few Americans especially think differently because they make billions of dollars here in the good old US of A, with these iPhones and iPads and MacBooks and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. From my desktop computer, I would never go Apple again. I started off when I probably was like a teenager, started building PCs. And then I went to college, a community college, and they had these iMacs. So I started using those when I got some money. I'll never forget it. I went into the Apple store with $2,000 in cash, and I'm like, how old was I? I might have been 24. I'm just, flossing. I came in there with a white t-shirt on, big white tee, some Timberland boots, thugged out for no reason, just because I wanted to do it and I wanted to show I got money. I had $2 in cash in my pocket and paid for the actual iMac. Biggest mistake ever. It was okay, but really the Windows PC towers that I can customize and upgrade whenever I want, much better. Them iMacs that you can't even really change anything. And what they did later was solder the memory to the motherboard. I was like, man, that is so gay. But anyway, shout out to Apple though. Big company, but they can make some improvements. What I want to see Apple do is have a system that's more modular, like how PCs are. If they can do that, maybe I'll give them a chance to come back. But the way it is now, I'm PC to the casket drops. I'm not going to go back to Apple products as far as computing, but I do like their Apple Watch, and the iPhone is functional for friends and family to be able to communicate with them. So I'll give them their props on that. Now, we got more good news. We got our guy, Byron Donalds, running for the governor of Florida. All right, let's check it out. Check him out.
Is it truth? I mean, you got the support of President Trump. Where do you stand? Are you ready to make the plunge?
Well, look, Sean, after a lot of prayer, a lot of thoughts with my family and my friends, I'm here to announce my candidacy to be the next governor of the great state of Florida. And Sean, we have a wonderful state. I got to Florida when I was 17 years old off of a Greyhound bus with just a trunk full of clothes. And over the rest of my time in Florida, I built a family. I built a career, 17 years in financial services. I joined the Tea Party movement, was in the conservative movement. I was able to serve 4 years in the state legislature, 4 years in Congress. And I think now is the time to now take the mantle and lead our state into the future. We have a great governor. Ron DeSantis has done a tremendous job for our state. But now the job is to keep the best state in the country as the best state in the country. And so that's going to be the mission at hand. And I'm excited to announce my candidacy with you tonight.
So shout out to Byron Donalds running for governor of Florida. Now, be clear, DeSantis cannot run anymore because he reached a term limit. So either way, it had to have been somebody else that was going to take his seat. So this is not him trying to unseat DeSantis. DeSantis cannot run for the governor of Florida anymore. There's a term limit. So now I think Byron Donalds is a shoe-in. He's great. I've been a fan of his for a long time. He's going to be good. And I think this role can prepare him for a potential run for the president. Now, it's going to be an uphill battle because Bathhouse Barry allegedly messed it up for you. Him and Big Mike messed it up for you, so it's going to be an uphill battle. But I think he'll be great for the governor of Florida, and one day potentially the president of the U.S. of A. But I think in 2028, the president is going to be J.D. Vance. I think he's going to be the guy. It's pretty much already laid out for him to become that. So shout out again, Byron Donalds running for governor of Florida. I think you're a shoo-in. Now, Eric Adams, bro. I got the MAGA hat for you. Listen, if you want a MAGA hat, you want this 17, whatever you want, bro, just wear it at this point. Now, it's going to be a little bit of language here, but not really. It's not really a cuss word, but a little bit of language. Now, there's an effort to get Eric Adams out of his seat because of him speaking against the Democrats and what they did to the city with the migrant crisis. Look, they said 230,000 migrants came through New York City within not even the 4-year period, like a 2-year period, maybe 18 months, just thousands upon thousands of people every day. I think they said they were getting 4,000 new people per day. They're not working. It just pretty much bumps on the log. So Eric Adams is like, look, this is ridiculous. We can't do this anymore. We spent $7 billion out of our own money with little to no federal help. This is a mess. What did the Democrats say? Be a good boy. Be a good boy now. Shut up now. Be a good Democrat. Oh, you don't want to play ball? All right, well, check it out. As you're on the way to D.C. to discuss the so-called migrant crisis, we're going to indict one of your peoples. Go in their house, raid it, all of that. Slap her wig off, the whole 9 yards. Scare her to death. And then when you come back, we're going to indict you. And we're going to plant seeds in your office to make your aides and whatnot quit on you, because we're going to intimidate them with prosecution the same way we did you. So at this point, I think Eric Adams is done with the left or the Democratic Party. And if he's not, he's a fool. But I hope that he's seen the light. Let's watch.
So this is a biblical moment. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God, forgive them. Are you stupid?
All right, there we go. We get Eric Adams speaking to the haters. Hey, I had to clutch my invisible pearls on that one, man. I had to clutch my invisible pearls. All right. Yeah, he's not really liking the reaction from people that want to get him out of the way. All he wants is the best for New Yorkers. I might not agree with all of his political policies, but when I hear him speak, when I hear Eric Adams speak, I'm hearing old school black man. Regular person, normal person. That's what I hear. I don't really hear a political ideologue necessarily. I hear a regular guy. And a guy like that can switch. He might be kind of a swing voter, or that might be kind of a swing voter mentality. So I hope, Eric Adams, if you can hear me, you should put on the MAGA hat. Come to our side. Why not? Why not? Because you see what the Democratic Party did to you. You see how they left you and your constituents high and dry. It just left you out there to struggle with these migrants. The crime, the violence, the money, all of that. The lack of resources, destroying the iconic Roosevelt Hotel right there in Midtown Manhattan. You saw what they did to you. Now it's time to go the other direction. All right. So again, shout out Eric Adams, man. If you want a MAGA hat, I got one for you. All right. Now, this is him announcing that he's going to shut down 53 so-called migrant shelters this year, 2025. Let's watch.
Today, we are announcing the Roosevelt Hotel, which served as both our asylum arrival center and the humanitarian emergency response and relief center for nearly 2 years, will be closing in the coming months. Thanks to the successful strategies we put in place here in New York City, and because of policies we advocated for at the border. The Roosevelt Hotel was opened in May 2023 during the height of the crisis, with the city receiving an average of 4,000 arrivals each week. Now, thanks to our policies, we're down to an average of just 350 new arrivals each week. And while we're not done caring for those who came into our care, today marks another milestone in demonstrating the immense progress we have achieved in turning the corner on the unprecedented international humanitarian effort. Our administration has skillfully managed this crisis, which has seen over 232,000 migrants enter our city asking for shelter, and the Roosevelt Hotel has been key in allowing us to effectively manage our operation, processing almost 75% of individuals that have come into our care through these doors. Now, thanks to the sound policy decisions of our team, we're able to announce the closure of this site and help even more asylum seekers take the next steps in their journeys while simultaneously saving taxpayers millions of dollars. With this closure, we're closing 53 sites within a span of a year.
All right, like I said, 53 so-called migrant shelters will close this year, 2025. Why? Because the border has been shut down. It's just that simple. And like I said many times, and I'm going to keep saying it, we did not need a bipartisan border bill to make it happen. So when you got a lot of these leftists on television talking about, oh, well, the border is open, but you guys don't want to do anything to close it. What is needed to actually close the border? Just sound policy. We don't need an actual border bill. The border was not wide open under Trump. And then all of a sudden under Biden, it's open. And you say, oh, we need a bill. We need a bill under Trump, but now we need a bill under Biden. All right. Now here's Kathy Hochul talking about wanting to still remain a migrant sanctuary in New York State. I don't understand why. I mean, they say they want workers, but in New York City, they weren't even working. They were just sitting around having babies and costing taxpayers money. That Roosevelt Hotel wasn't nothing but a baby mill. A baby mill. Talking about 3 to 4 new kids being born in a week at least. It's ridiculous.
Are you Democratic governors going to start to work together on this? Is there legal pushback?
And that's Margaret Brennan. I hate, but anyway.
What he is doing is, they've described it as flooding the zone. They're attacking California when it comes to FEMA dollars. They're filing lawsuits in Illinois. They're going after Maine on this, and they're coming after programs that have been duly put in place in the state of New York. What they're trying to do is create this theater of all kinds of activity that is trying to be a distraction to us.
A theater of activity intended to be a distraction. Nah, it's called working. It's called working. It's called actually doing things. The previous administration, all they did was open the border up, and that's pretty much it. It didn't do anything else. We're actually getting things done. That's what you call productivity. Now, I know that might be kind of a foreign concept to some people, but productivity is good.
And when someone floods the zone in a football game, what you need to have is the defenders be very disciplined, smart, but also stand their ground. And that's exactly what the governor of New York will do in cooperation with our governors. We're not going to sit idly by and let our rights be attacked. We'll work with you when there's common ground, no doubt about it. Let's build great projects and infrastructure. There's areas where we're going to work with you on immigration and getting the violent criminals off our streets. We do not dispute that. But don't think that you can just come in and bully us around and not expect a reaction from governors.
All right, there we go. So, yeah, I mean, it's so weird. New Yorkers, how do you feel about your governor, Kathy Hochul? Great governor, good governor, bad governor, awful governor, worst ever. How you feel about her? People were kind of excited when they got Cuomo out of the way, but I think Cuomo is better than her. What do y'all think, New Yorkers especially? Do you guys think that Andrew Cuomo was a better governor than Kathy Hochul? Y'all let me know in the comments. I want to know. Now, this group says diversity is our strength. Well, this group is the kind of group that would say diversity is our strength. But here they are attacking Elon for his immigrant status. When you get a lot of these liberals, especially your white liberals, when they're able to be comfortable and speak their mind, you hear absolute racism come out of their mouth. I've been in some of these Facebook groups back in the day with these people, and they are these are the kind of people that are put on the Klan uniform and go destroy a black town for no reason. That's them. That's your white liberals. But anyway, let me just play this right quick.
Mr. Musk has just been here 22 years, and he's a citizen of 3 countries. I always ask myself the question, with the damage he's doing here, when push comes to shove, which country is he loyalty to? South Africa? Canada? Or the United States? And he's only been a citizen, I'll say again, 22 years.
That's not a long time. 22 years is not a long time to be a citizen. That's weird. And this is Elon derangement syndrome. Elon is not the president. He is basically an employee of the government. Kind of like a volunteer, really, because even if he's getting paid, it's not going to be enough for what he's doing. It's like volunteer work. People are so weird. We, like where I live in Tennessee, the volunteer state, like people in this country have historically wanted to serve and help and assist and volunteer and give. And when a guy does that, who is not even from here originally, it's seen as a bad thing. But it's only seen as a bad thing when they don't like what you're doing. If Elon was in there doing what they wanted him to do, then it would be fine. But because he's doing things that they don't like, now it's a problem. It's really weird. All right. But I digress. Now, they said that U.S. aid money was going toward projects in, West Bank, Israel, Palestine, whatever you want to call it. My question is, we got potholes the size of sinkholes in the USA that are not fixed. If you drive over it, your car will vanish into the abyss. But we over there fixing water pipes with U.S. taxpayer dollars? I don't understand.
This is one of the problems that USAID was meant to fix. This is a water pipe that burst this morning in the West Bank city of Halhul. The water engineers came here and tried to fix it. But they had been working on a project funded by USAID, $46 million in this area to rehabilitate the water pipes that burst every couple of days. When President Trump and his administration froze USAID projects all around the world, it impacted this area of the West Bank. Wherever you drive in Palestinian cities, you see billboards marking USAID road and water projects from over the years. It's been a decades-long U.S. mission to build the capacity for the Palestinians to have their own independent state.
How long does it take to actually fix the water pipes? And speaking about water pipes, have we fixed the water pipes in Flint? Have we fixed that yet? Because that was a thing a while back, many years ago. Remember Barack Obama went to, was it Flint where he went to? And took a little fake sip of water. Was that Flint? Anyway, they had brown water coming out of the pipes. And not just Flint, Michigan, but other spots in the country. Jackson, Mississippi, same situation. I'm just saying, look, being humanitarian and all that is great. It's fantastic. However, we have more pressing issues right here in the good old US of A that need to be tended to first. I don't mind helping others, but let's help ourselves first. Am I saying the wrong thing? Y'all let me know. Anyway, shout out to Gaza, West Bank, all of that. Let's take care of ourselves first. Now, this guy still doing the same thing. Bernie Sanders, bro, how long have you been begging for money? How long? Your entire career? You are basically a meme. You're like Voldemort Zelensky. Every time I see you asking for money, and you're like 1,000 years old right now. Let's watch his latest plea for money.
I am once again asking for your financial support. I don't have to tell anybody that we're living in dangerous and unprecedented times. We are fighting now against the oligarchs, Elon Musk and the others, who are essentially running the government, the richest people in the world. We're taking on Trump's movement toward authoritarianism, putting more and more power into his own hands, undermining the Congress, challenging the courts, not knowing what the Constitution is about. We are right now engaged in a major struggle to make sure that the Congress does not pass legislation which gives massive tax breaks to billionaires and then cuts Medicaid, education, and programs that working families desperately need. I am going to be running around this country along with others to rally the American people, to continue the fight for justice, to stand up to Trump and the authoritarianism that we are seeing. To be successful, we're going to need your help. So please, if you can send $27 or anything that you could afford, we'd much appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, Brandy. Now, how is my $27 going to help you and your cause? Why should I send that? Why? For what? How is that really going to help anything? And I like what's going on. Really, I like what's happening. I don't care if the guy's rich, poor, whatever. And Bernie is so funny because when he first came out talking this stuff about Bernie, what he does is he is the kind of person that pushes envy toward successful people. That's what he feeds on, is envy of successful people. I'm not envious of anyone successful. To me, they're inspirational. I want to be like them. So I'm going to make moves in an effort to strive to be the best version of myself. I see Elon Musk. I'm inspired by what he's been able to do. Okay, his mind, his brilliance, Jeff Bezos, all of them, even the Bill Gates. Aside from all the vaccinations and fake food and stuff like this, I admire their success. I'm not envious. So his tactic does not work on me. I'm not feeling the whole envy part. That's not really what I'm into. So yeah. And to go back to the whole thing about the water pipes in Gaza, somebody said it right there. Richard, they break every day. So it's like, are we just over there patching them up every day? Like, I don't understand what's going on. And also, back to Andrew Cuomo, a lot of y'all said that Cuomo is better than Kathy Hochul, although some of y'all don't want Cuomo either. But if you had to pick, if you had pistol to your forehead and then say, hey, man, pick one right now, or I'm going to let it go, you're probably going to pick Cuomo, although that wouldn't be the best option. This is why I was saying for the mayoral race, if Eric Adams is not going to be in the picture, and I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Can he run again? Whatever. For the mayoral race, Andrew Cuomo might not be a bad pick because although you might want a better selection for New York and all these liberals that live there, he might be a happy medium. You're not going to get Giuliani in there no more. Those days are over with. All them LGBTQ, elemental P, X, Y, and Zs, all these left-wing weirdos, okay, all these extra people in New York City, it's not really going to happen. So Cuomo's kind of a happy medium in my humble opinion. But look, if it's me, I would just move to a place where it's more conservative in general. Now, I'll tell you where I would not move, and that is the Great White North. Shout out to my Canadian friends. Shout out to y'all. You guys, I don't know how you do it. It's bitter cold, and everybody's super liberal. I don't know how you do it, so shout out to y'all for braving it out. Now, this guy, NDP, what's the NDP party? Is that like super liberals, left wing, drag queen story time, 5 years old being transgender? Like, what's the NDP all about? But anyway, Canadian NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, he has a few words.
I also believe we need to ban Donald Trump from attending the G7 summit. Donald Trump should not be welcome here. Why would we invite someone who has threatened our very democracy, our very sovereignty? Why would we invite someone who has threatened our economic well-being? Why would we invite someone who threatens our allies and threatens the world's stability? Why would we allow a convicted criminal into our country? Why would we invite someone who has such disdain for multilateral organizations? Instead, what we should do is use the G7 summit as an opportunity to work with our allies on a plan to resist Donald Trump and his dangerous threats to the world.
All right, there we go. So again, that is a Canadian NDP leader, Jagmeet Singh, talking about banning Donald Trump. And I love them for being so honest about how they feel about convicted felons, because when I was younger, the rally cry was, we need to ban the box. And that was a movement to remove the question about your criminal history on job applications. Okay, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Yes or no? Check or check. They wanted to remove that because they said that it was racist against young black men who have a higher chance of being arrested, like a 33% chance of being arrested if you're under the age of 30 or something like this. Whatever the numbers are. They said that was racist, and it shouldn't matter because you served your time, paid debt to society, you're a brand new man, you're going to get a new chance, turn over a new leaf. We know now that that's BS. I mean, I knew it at a certain point back then during my whole process of becoming more, awake in a true sense. I knew it back then, but now they're saying it out loud to you. So if they ever say ban the box, and if you ask someone's criminal history, if they talk about racism being linked to your criminal history on the job application, just know that they're lying to you as normal, per usual. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Oh, and this person is Chrystia Freeland. That's an interesting name. Her name is spelled Chrystia. It's like a stripper or something like this. What's a good dancer name? Summer Rain or something like this. Anyway, She's running for Prime Minister of Canada to prevent an American invasion. Alrighty, let's watch.
A few weeks ago in Saskatoon, I met a little 4-year-old girl. She asked me whether I could prevent Trump from invading our country.
En français, parlez anglais, s'il vous plaît.
And that's why I am standing to lead the Liberal Party and to become the next Prime Minister of Canada. Trump represents the greatest threat to Canada since World War II. He is threatening us with an economic war, and that's nothing new. The last time that he was president, he threatened us too, and at the end of the day, I succeeded in protecting our economy. But this time, Trump's threats are worse. He wants to turn Canada into the 51st state.
Of course, the story is probably fake. Just like, who was that? Kamala? Freedom. I was like, man, for real? Like, that's a real story. Cut it out. But anyway, let's continue.
And it's no joke. That is why he is supporting Vladimir Putin's criminal attempt to redraw Ukraine's borders. Trump wants to redraw our borders too. We need a leader who understands the seriousness of these challenges and how to face them. A leader that can respond and defend everyone in our wonderful country. I will fight for us. I will fight for Canada. And together, we will win.
Alrighty, so there we go. Again, her name, Chrystia Freeland. Now, I hope she could speak English. Maybe she's speaking to a French part of the country. Maybe she in Montreal somewhere. I don't know. But if you can't speak English, I mean, I don't really get it. But anyway, so yeah, shout out to her speaking in French. Of course, there are a lot of French speakers in the Great White North over there on that particular side. There's also a lot of the French-speaking people in Maine, close to Montreal, that border. But anyway, we'll talk about Maine a little bit later. Shout out to them. They're kind of woke up there a little bit. Not all. Shout out to the Mainers in the chat. I know you guys are true blue conservative, not woke, not weird at all. Let's just hear from some of the normies out there in the world about what's happening today. Let's see what she says. I've not seen this, but I want to watch it. It looked kind of interesting.
If you are part of the transgender community, or if you are non-binary, or if you are just literally anything, I'm so sorry. I do not understand at all how this has even happened. I feel like I have literally been fighting with Donald Trump since I was in like 6th grade, and he just won't leave. He won't leave. It's like a smushed fly on the wall that you keep trying to wipe off, but it just gets worse. I just have to like keep reminding myself that this is like just, it's the end, but it's the beginning. Like, I refuse to say that us as Americans have lost. So I'm just hoping.
What have you lost? What are you hoping for? I'm really confused.
But I just want everyone to know I love you. And be safe. Yeah. I love you. If you are part...
Alrighty. I think, look, the 6th grade, you've been fighting Trump, but you're still here. You appear to be comfy, got your nice little hoodie, your room and all of that. You're not on the street corner somewhere smoking crack. I think you'll be just fine. Don't worry about it, okay? The monster up under your bed is not going to come get you at night. Everything will be okay. Don't worry. Don't watch TV so much. Now, this lady, now what I want to know before we even watch this, okay, before she says something really crazy, I want to know, where did you get your hat? And what kind of hat is that? Is that considered a Kango hat? I feel like I wore that when I was like 22 at a job interview, trying to put on the suit, trying to look like I got a suit on, but my hat did not have all this husky hair or whatever that is. Did the dog hair come with the hat, or did you add that later? Is it decoration, or are you just being slovenly? I don't know, because I'm an old man. Maybe that's the fashion nowadays. Is that what the cool kids are doing? Putting dog hair on their wool hat inside as young ladies? I don't know what's going on, but let's hear what she got to say, because that's the most important thing. not the dog hair hat, but what she's going to say is the most important. Let's watch.
I'm going to say this one time, and I will not be adding any further details. Where is Luigi? I have a list for him.
All right, there we go. So, threatening people, of course, that's what they do. A lot of violent people. We don't do that on our side, but we're the ones that are considered to be the violent and dangerous ones, the extremists. We're the ones, but really it's them that always threaten violence and actually do the violence all the time. Even January 6th, the day they said that we rioted, it was a lot of them antagonizing the situation and a lot of federales. Ray Epps, let's go into the Capitol on camera. And for some reason, the left defended Ray Epps. Ask yourself this question. Let me come back away from the dog hair lady. Let me ask you a question. Why do you guys think the media defended Ray Epps so much? All the other J6ers, they wanted to throw up under the penitentiary to make big rocks to little rocks. They wanted to do that in the mainstream media. But for some reason, Ray Epps gets on TV and says, let's go into the Capitol. Let's riot. Let's do all this, that, and the third. They protect him when we say, hey, why isn't he locked up the same way they locked the Mamaw up for holding the American flag? People that didn't even go into the Capitol, like Brandon Strzok. You have a speech outside and it's not inflammatory, but his life's turned upside down. Why not Ray Epps? Why did they protect him? I think it's because he's one of them. He's in the club. We're not invited. That's just me. That's just my opinion. But anyway, I digress. Now, we got more people that seem to like Luigi Mangione. Now, my question is, are they being radicalized by television, by social media? What's going on? Okay. Now, this lady has on a Luigi hat, as in Mario and Luigi. And she has on a t-shirt that has Luigi, parasites. It's a bunch of different words on it. Billionaire bloodsuckers, Elon Musk with 3 Ks at the end. Tesla, bros before CEOs, all kind of stuff. And it also says Luigi Mangione, America's conscience. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not a bloodthirsty individual. I don't want to see people get deleted in the streets because I'm envious of success. I want to see everybody succeed. And those who have different points of view, I want them to seek mental help and get their mind right. But let's watch.
Is this a Luigi hat?
Yes, it's a yes.
Luigi Mangione?
Eat the CEO because you push people too far, and when you push people against the wall and they have nowhere to go, they're going to push back. And right now, the 1% is taking advantage of the masses, and we are just sitting and being complacent and taking it. It is time for us to say no. We outnumber the billionaire bloodsuckers. We need to make them afraid. Right now, he has 20 bodyguards. He needs to have 100. Because again, you push people too far, and they have nowhere. The backs are up against the wall. They're going to lash out.
Now, here's my question. When you say they're pushing you too far, who are we talking about? Like, who are we talking about exactly? You're talking about the CEO of United Healthcare Group, an employee, the same way you're an employee of your job. So let's say somebody doesn't like what your company is doing or what they believe your company is doing. So should they come into McDonald's, slap you in the head at the fry station? I mean, come on, you can't just do whatever you want to do. And really, your frustration is in the wrong place. Elected officials are a bigger issue. And rather than trying to advocate violence, how about going out there and voting the right way? Or if you think you're better at doing what they do than them, you run. You have the ability to participate in society without having to be violent.
So these CEOs need to get off of their greedy, selfish attitudes, taking from us, and then nobody's going to be wanting to shoot them down in the streets.
Somebody said, not Irie. That's hilarious. Shout out to you, Cro-Magnon.
If I wish for you to go shoot yourself into the sun, I want you to be gone.
Got it.
Yeah. So I want Elon Musk to be gone. Yeah.
You want him to be gone. You want him to.
Yes, he's a selfish.
You want a Luigi. You want a Luigi.
He's a selfish, greedy bastard who is just sucking the humanity out of the world, and we need less Elons and more Luigis. Yes. I said.
All right, there we go. So advocating violence, again, is what they do all the time. All the time. And if they really get what they want, the world that they have as a result will not be what they had before. Then they're not going to like it. They're going to want to go back. It's the same kind of thought process behind leaving a blue state and then going to a red state. Oh, I'm trying to save money, all this, that. Okay, but the reason why the red state is better than the blue state is because of policy. You go with your same ideology, and a lot of y'all go with the same ideology. All you're going to do is turn that red state into a blue state, and the same issues that you had in the blue state will present themselves in the red state. As simple as that. Denver, Colorado, prime example. Denver was one way before the Californians came in mass, before the weed got legalized. And then once all that stuff happened, it just went downhill because the kind of people that you're attracting with the weed legalization and the California exodus, and they're bringing their policies with them, that's going to just gradually wear a place down to the point where it's not what it was before. That's how it works, but they don't seem to quite understand that. They're like parasites, many of them, going from place to place, infecting it, not realizing that they're the ones affecting it. Oh, it's so bad here. It was great 20 years ago. Yeah, it was great before you came. Not you guys, but them. The leftist normies that don't know anything, that behave the same way they did in the blue state, they go to a red state and trash it. Now, I don't know where this is, but what do you do in a situation? You're in Publix, Wegmans, Kroger, Piggly Wiggly, whatever kind of grocery store you're in. You got your cart or your buggy. And what do y'all call it? Is it a cart, a buggy, a basket? You're in the store with your buggy, your cart, minding your business, and you got some of these protester weirdos blocking the aisle of the grocery store. What are you going to do? Let's watch.
I asked her to excuse me.
We're not leaving.
I asked her to excuse me.
And she said no. So now
Let
you
go
go around the
of
other
me,
way.
please.
Sir, she said no. So you go around
I
the
don't
other way.
care. You don't control my passage anywhere,
Do not
okay?
behave yourself
She
in
don't
public
belong
place.
to me.
It's
I've done
okay,
both. Excuse me, I've asked you several times.
What you're doing at the moment, you're
I've asked you
assaulting.
several times.
You're assaulting someone, sir. You're
I've
assaulting
asked you
someone.
several times, please. I've asked you nicely.
You've not been provoked.
You've done.
Go down that way. Yes, and you can go around and
I've asked her several times nicely.
She said no.
She doesn't have the right to say no.
I have a right to
Who the hell do you think you are?
Excuse me. I want to get past here.
You can go around, madam. This.
No, I'm not going round. You move.
No, we're not moving.
No.
Well, I'll just knock you out of the way with my trolley then.
You do what you must do, madam, but we're here to make a protest and make a point. Okay?
There we go. Shout out Mama and shout out to my man. It's like, look, y'all in the way. This is a grocery store. I got my food. They call it a trolley. I guess that's UK. I'm not really sure. But look, like, what are y'all doing? We have the right to protest. But can you get out the way though? Like, get off the ground. I'm trying to just go. I'm trying to get my what y'all eat in UK? I'm trying to get my beans and toast, my sushi, my World War II rations up out of this store and go about my business. Like, y'all just in the way for what? Why? Shout out Mama for just saying, no, I'm not going to go around. I'm going to go right through y'all. I love it. I love it. And to the people on the ground, like this dude right here, it's like, bro, come on, Mr. White Man. You need to be out there trying to improve society. Like, you need to be out there contributing to society in a positive way rather than being on the floor with a pink shirt on. You're probably being paid to do that, so I understand. I get it. But let's find a better way to make money and operate in society rather than sitting on the floor with a pink shirt on, blocking grocery store people. What are you even protesting? What, you a vegan or something like this? Look, man, if you're a vegan, that's fine. And you know what? I'm not a vegan. I support your freedom to eat whatever kind of food you want to eat. You want to eat Impossible Burgers. You want to eat carbohydrates all day. That's fine. That's totally fine. You want to drink soy straight from the bottle and chug it like it's a beer. At college, you're doing a soy cake stand. I support your right to do so. But check it out. In the meantime, before you get your soy, your carbohydrates, all your sugars and whatnot from your fake vegan food in the store, Before you do all that, hey, get up out the way though, and let me go to my car with my whole organic food. Alrighty, I'm playing vegan. Shout out to you if you're in the chat. I'm just playing. I know you guys eat very well. Y'all guys not eating. Y'all guys not doing soy cake stands. Hopefully, but anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that'll help me out tremendously. Now, this guy right here says the South has risen again, and he's not too happy about it. I think the South has risen again. I showed you guys the list earlier. 9 out of the 10 most moved to states from another state are all red states. The South has risen again. Everybody wants to go to Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina. Everybody wants to be here. They don't want to go California, New York, Illinois. They don't want to go. They want to be down here in the Sun Belt. If not the old South, maybe the newer Texas and Arizona, places like that. Nevada even, that's still kind of Sun Belt. Speaking about Vegas.
I'm going to say this very succinctly. MAGA and Republicans are, in fact, the Confederacy. The South has risen again. And where you stand now is where you would have stood in 1860.
Okie dokie. So the South has risen again. That's the MAGA Republicans. Okie dokie. And it's a Confederacy. Now, I mean, guys like that are just kind of weird. At the end of the day, that dude lives in Milwaukee, I think, from his, judging by his little beanie he has on, because you're probably not going to wear a Milwaukee Bucks beanie just unironically for no reason unless you live in Milwaukee. But I tell you what, I'd much rather live in Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Tampa, Florida than Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And if you're from Milwaukee, you live there, shout out to you. But that lake effect, snow, wind, cold, and the violence from guys like this, I'm cool on that. I'm going to go down Florida and live my best life. Okay, I got my weapons. Like, I love living down here. Atlanta, you're going to see things you're not going to see maybe in LA. Definitely not in LA for sure. You go to a nice fancy restaurant, it'd be guys in there open carrying with a whole suit on. A whole suit open carry right here, like Wild Wild West. And don't nobody flinch. It's all good. Do that in LA, they're going to be on your head immediately, locked up. You're going to the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks, off rip in LA if you do something like that. Down here, it's fine. It's fine. All right, let's keep on going.
Guys, I'm not.
All right, let me turn this. Let me get the full screen here. And shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Some say Atlanta is dangerous. Atlanta's fine. If you know where you're going, you know how to move around, you have your weapon on you. I've never had a problem in Atlanta. People that have problems like to be involved with drugs and things they shouldn't really be doing, or they be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I just know where to go and how to move around. I never have a problem. Let's watch.
Guys, I'm not having a good time because it just keeps getting worse. I spent my entire Saturday working overtime because I am a lazy government employee, you know. At the end of, I have to report what I worked on during those hours for, you know, funsies, not because the government already tracks everything that we do. And 2.5 hours before I got off, I got that email. And I'm like, I immediately sent out a message to my team and was like, do not respond until we get guidance. Because also, like, 5 bullet points isn't enough for me, Elon, because I don't know if you're aware, but I've been doing 2 people's jobs and not being paid for it since October because we're understaffed.
Okay, well, just write that in the email. You spent time making this TikTok, and the time this TikTok took for you to record and upload, the email could have been done. You're just not wanting to do it because you don't want to submit to what Elon is telling you to do, or to the directive that comes from what Elon was hired to tell you to do. Elon's like a consultant, basically. And what they do with consultants, a lot of times, they bring them into businesses, and what their job is ultimately many times is to fire you or to reduce the staff down to a level that makes sense. And the point of the email, in my opinion, is to see, number one, if you're even there to respond to the email. Are you even working? And number two is to see if you're even needed. Again, Elon cut down 90% of the staff over at Twitter, called it X, and the site is better than it's ever been. Better than is 90% of the staff cut, and it's better than it ever has been. So the same thing is kind of happening here, but not to an extreme like that. Not 90% of the staff, maybe about 5 to 10% cut. That's a good start, in my humble opinion. All right. Now we have another Elon Musk derangement person. This person has threatened violence, and now they're getting investigated.
I promised myself I would avoid the news, but obviously I haven't. Here's my one thought. I mean, I have many thoughts. Elon Musk, like, we need to X him, and by X I mean formerly known as assassination. I know someone from the FBI is gonna fucking show up. I don't. Arrest me.
What do you notice about everybody that I played so far? And I didn't do this on purpose, but what have you noticed? Y'all let me know in the comments.
You don't have enough people to even investigate me at this point. I haven't filed my taxes in like 8 years. And yet,
the feds know where you at right now. When you're recording this video, the feds know exactly where you are. I mean, people like this are just kind of silly.
no one's covered me. So, I'm gonna fucking say it. Let's assassinate some motherfuckers.
Alrighty, so there we go. Again, advocating for violence. So now there's an investigation. Let me see if I can pull up the article right here with this person and investigation piece of it. All right, so there we go. Hold on. So the DC prosecutor has responded to this. Let me see if I can find it. Well, I'm gonna just show you the headline. I don't want to dig too much into the article because the ads are all over the place. So it says, TikTok post, we need to X Elon Musk, and DC prosecutor responds. So you're on the radar. You are on the radar. Don't think you could just say whatever you want, threaten violence, and everything's going to be all right. All right. That's not what you want to do. But anyway, let's keep on going. Oh, this story right here, this story about the 16-year-old breaking down in court, crying because he has been charged as an adult. I didn't feel any kind of way sorry. People talking about, oh, it's so hard to watch. No, it's not hard to watch, actually. Let's watch this.
First at 5, a 16-year-old learns he will not be getting bail after being charged with murder. Sean Simpson is accused of killing 16-year-old Zaquavius Dawkins and also accused of trying to kill someone else Sunday night in Gastonia. Well, Simpson is now being charged under a law change which allows 16 and 17-year-olds to be charged as an adult in certain crimes. But that did not make things any easier for anyone involved today, as you just saw. As Derek Dellinger reports right now, the hearing only lasted a few minutes, but it was tough for both families.
The family of the victims, Zaquavius Dawkins, they were in court and they were quite emotional about what happened. You have to realize this is one of their first chances to see the teen accused of killing him. Sean Simpson came into Gaston County Court at points wiping away his tears as he stood before a judge. Just 16 years old, he's being charged with first-degree murder as an adult. That's as a result of a law change that went into effect in December, which allows teens his age to be charged as an adult in certain crimes.
Now, look, in Virginia, forever, I don't know when the law came out in Virginia. It might have been a thing that's been around since the 1800s. I don't know. But in Virginia, you could be tried as an adult at age 14. And that was the thing that we knew back then. We knew at least two different laws. The first was about the automatic 5 years in the penitentiary for a illegal weapon off rip. So if you out here, you're committing crimes with a handgun and your gun is found to be illegal, that's mandatory minimum 5 years in the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. If you're 14 years old, you engaging in things like shooting people, killing people, you are tried as an adult in Virginia at 14. And to be totally honest, that makes sense because really, like I said in my video, by the time I was 16, I was an adult. There is nothing that I'm doing now that I was not able to do when I was 16. I had a job in the car. Like, I was self-sufficient. I didn't need any parents to come fix my dinner or nothing like that, get me dressed, buy clothes. I could do everything. I was completely independent. And really, I would say by the time I got to be 13, 14, I was independent. So definitely 16. Oh yeah, you know what you're doing. And this dude shot not one, but two people in the same night. And the person he shot here that died, all he took from the boy was his grandma's medication. The boy goes to the store to get the medication. On the way back, this guy encounters him, shoots him in the robbery, and takes the medication. That's all that the boy had on him. He ran an errand for his grandma and got killed on the way back. So nah, man, send this dude to the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. What some of y'all do, not you guys watching, but some of your states, your soft on crime states, what y'all do is y'all would say, oh, he's a black kid. He came from the hood and he didn't have any money. All these excuses, and he'll get a slap on the wrist. Slap on the wrist at best. And then, of course, he'll go out and do the same thing again because there's no incentive to not do it. He's already in the streets. He's already part of a gang or something like this. So he's a criminal anyway. If you give him a slap on the wrist, you incentivize him to go out there and commit more crime. And you don't get caught for all the crimes you do. He might commit 10 crimes and only get caught for one after he done already been out on the street committing the crimes for 2 or 3 years. That's how it works. So guys like this, you got to get immediately when they do something like this, 14, 15, 16, whatever, throw them in the penitentiary with the adults. And I tell you what, though, when they get into that cell with a dude that's been there since 1994, crime bill, okay, all he does all day is do push-ups, burpees, all of that in the cell all day long. This dude has no body fat and likes to fight. A guy like that comes in here and is in his cell or is on the yard at all, he will be taken advantage of immediately. The fear of that happening will be a deterrent from these guys who want to go out there and commit crime. You see what I'm saying?
There was a realization that during this proceeding that the gravity was hitting him, a grand jury indictment that could come in the near future, and a moment that hit when a judge told him that he would not be seeing freedom anytime soon.
Court may impose a hold without bond. Court finds sufficient allegations to support the charges.
And that's fake. Don't even. That's completely fake. All of that. That's just him acting out for no reason. That's just him acting out for no reason because you weren't doing all that crime. He shot 2 people. It wasn't like it was a fight or something. He shot 2 people and robbed them or tried to rob them.
Charges. He is ordered held without bond.
This moment is tough to watch, but
it's tough to watch. No, it's not. And that kind of mentality that he just said, that's the mentality that a lot of these judges or whatnot have in other parts of the country where they got the soft on crime policy. If it's me, if I'm the judge, if I had power of this boy, look, you would go under the penitentiary immediately. You do something like that and we got evidence, you get convicted, you're going to the gulag. And I would have the El Salvador type prison when you be in there completely working, you be back to slavery. You're a first ticket to slavery. That'd be my campaign. I run on that. As like all the criminals who want to shoot people, beat up old ladies, just the scum of society, we're going to put you back in slavery. What Joe Biden say? They're going to put y'all back in chains. That's me. Okay, chain them up, lock them up. That's me. ASAP. You're gonna be eating no free meals, not even no school food, pizza, nothing like that. You could be eating slop, hog slop, because I want you to not be incentivized to commit crime. I want you to be on your best behavior and operate properly in society. And if you can't, well, we got a place for you. For those that don't want to act right, for those who don't want to participate in society properly, you could go over here. Enjoy slavery. Enjoy that. Forgiveness, hey, I can forgive them. Hey, check it out. The forgiveness is, I won't delete you right there. The forgiveness is you can live. That's the forgiveness right there. You know, man, please. Forgiveness, man, please. Go to other parts of the country. Go to other parts of the world. You do stuff like that, other parts of the world, I don't care if they're Christian, Islamic, or whatever, they will just go ahead and just do away with you right away. Go to China and do that. Go to China and do something like that. Oh, man, please. Man, you would get sent to the gulag for less. You would get sent to the gulag in China for being Muslim, let alone you want to be a murderer, shooting multiple people, robbing them. Oh, no. We don't play that over there. Now, Jamal Bryant. Now, a lot of y'all were talking about his style of preaching, all of that. That's called hooping. A lot of black preachers still do that. That's kind of an old style that was really popular back in the day. But a lot of churches still have hooping preachers. I'm not really into the hooping myself. I want you just to give me a good message, a good sermon. But a lot of your black preachers nowadays are just more interested in being showmen. Okay, wearing the fancy jewelry, the chains, the little robes, the sunshades in the actual church while a sermon's going on. You're focused on that. You're focused on pyrotechnics and the ambiance and the accoutrements and your salary and the collection plate and things of this nature. You're not concerned with actually preaching the gospel. So a lot of these guys I don't like, not just because of their hooping, crazy, old school voice they make, the pig grunts and stuff like that, not just because of that, but also because of the message. Now, listen to this. Racism coming from Pastor, quote unquote, Jamal Bryant and New Birth Baptist Church in the Atlanta, Georgia metro area. Check it out.
I feel bad for them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. But I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid. I feel bad for them coons in the White House.
So that's what we are. Look, you know, it's crazy when a preacher says things that I can't say on YouTube or they're going to flag it. That's considered a racial slur. It's like saying the N-word. So when you say stuff like that, that's why people don't really spell out the whole word, the COONS. They don't say that because it's a racial slur. You could get flagged for that. Same thing with other racial slurs. You could say Uncle Tom. They won't get you for that one. But COONS, the N-word, obviously, that's all in the same ballpark. You know what's bad when I can't even repeat what the pastor said. Back in my day, the pastor man was not going to be cussing. He was a man that you could look up to as a model of behavior. But this guy ain't nothing but a performer, a rapper, basically. And I'm not liking the message. And why we got to be all of that in the White House? Why? Like, what's the actual problem? And then in this sermon, he said, pull up on me. Pull up on me. Like, not in a threatening way. I'm not going to say that. But look, like I said in my video, you're right there on the east side, right? You're like Stonecrest, Lithonia, Atlanta area. Look, you've been on the same podcast I've been on. I know them. I could just call them. I got their phone number. Hey, set it up. I ain't going to say their name, but y'all know who y'all are. Let's get on the podcast. You've been on the podcast before. You're right there in Atlanta. You ain't that far away. I'll drive down there for free. Get on the podcast. We could talk. It's totally fine. You want to get some backup? You want to get your rapper homie, the light-skinned boy, D1, you want to get him, that's fine. You want to get somebody from CNN to give you some information, some actual educated knowledge because you don't know anything, that's fine as well. That's totally fine. I'm not even really tripping. Okay? We could do it. And I want to have a good faith conversation and educate you. Like I said in my video, at one point, the black preacher was the only literate one in the community. Nobody else could read. Okay, slavery's over with. You're not allowed to learn how to read during slavery. Now you got a bunch of illiterate people who are pretty much lost. The preacher would come in to help guide them to where they had to be. Booker T. Washington was a preacher, kind of. He taught Sunday school in my original home, Rand, West Virginia. Well, Malden, that area, right there, right by Rand. He taught Sunday school at church, and my family went to that church while he was there in the 1800s. Yes, he did. So that's how it was. You had the one literate person teaching a lot of illiterate people, but now the preacher is illiterate. So these people, who do they turn to? I don't know, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, we got some more to get into. Now, okay. We have the president of the White House Correspondent Association, a guy by the name of Eugene Daniels, okay? Now, that's him right there on the ground with the little fan, okay? And the flag says, well, not the flag, the fan says Eugene and Renaissance 22. I guess that's the Beyonce concert. And of course, you got two white guys, two twinks or whatever on your shoulder. Anyway, let me keep on going. You got some Beyonce boots on. It's a mess. Let's hear from him. Again, this is the White House Correspondent. Hold on, let me get the title right. The president of the White House Correspondent Association, Eugene Daniels. All righty, let's watch.
He has a hard time running against Vice President Harris because she's a black woman. You will remember, actually, when he would tussle with the women that would ask him questions, our colleagues on the White House beat. Reporters. You know, he held his kind of most angry self for black women, right? If they asked him a question, he would have the worst things to say about them. So you're seeing that, right?
I can think of three off the top
of our head. And when he talked about Joe Biden got worse, Harris was born like that, right? That's different. That's a dog whistle to folks to say, you know, the white guy just got older and it got worse, but the black lady was born dumb. That is.
No, it's not about race. And it's funny how they always try to make everything be about race. But what was it about race in that picture right there? You and the two white twinks, was it about race right there? But anyway,
the kind of thing
they make it be about race, but really what it is a factual statement. Joe Biden, I'm not a fan of his politics at all, but when he was younger, he was sharper. He had a higher, Joe Biden does not have a low IQ. He just has bad ideas. And when he was younger, he was a lot sharper and a lot more quick to be able to speak and understand how to respond to certain things. And again, I did not like his policies ever, but he was a lot sharper when he was younger. Now, Kamala has been dumb like that forever. She's never been a sharp or articulate person. All that Kamala had was her beauty, and she was beautiful when she was younger, and she's not necessarily bad looking right now when she's not drunk off her hind parts. She looks okay, but that's not what we need in a leader. We need an intelligent person who make good decisions, not somebody who might have been hot 30 years ago. But anyway,
thing that Donald Trump is saying and selling.
So that guy right there, again, the president of the White House Correspondent Association. All right. And that kind of guy, that's pretty much how DC is. That's how they are. LGBT pretty much run Capitol Hill. All right. It's a lot of them. And that's probably why there's so much LGBT policy in or coming from DC, because they're all gay. That's kind of what's going on. But I digress. Now, speaking about black women, we have Jasmine Crockett. Now, Jasmine Crockett, I hate because I feel like she's being overly ghetto, and I think it's being done on purpose. I'm not sure why, but I don't like it. Even Tariq Nasheed said the same thing that I said, and Tariq Nasheed, me and him have not really been on the same page ideologically, but I think we can all recognize that she's kind of like playing into it. Let's watch.
But we're in the minority. But so long as we stand strong and not one Democrat falters, let me tell you, there are going to be Republicans that don't want to vote for this, and they can't lose more than one vote. So long as we stand together and so long as we're here, and the Republicans, they're dysfunctional. They can't get this done by themselves.
Well, we did get that done. It was supposed to be a bill. We did get that done. It's okay.
Is this a preview to how Democrats will message leading up to 2026? Saying fuck off.
But we're in the.
All right, and then to Elon, she said "F off." Very classy. Not a fan. I noticed how she was behaving from the beginning. Not a big fan of hers at all. All Okay, I don't like it, man. We got to get better people in government, really. And if you voted for her in Texas, I don't know what you were thinking about, what kind of crack you were smoking, but please put it down. But anyway, now here's more Jasmine Crockett, and I think this will be the last time I show her today, but I got to show her because they are trying to promote her. Maybe she's going to be Big Mike Part 2. I'm not really sure.
Like, and we know, like, this isn't me trying to throw shade. These are just the facts.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at who's voting for who, the less educated folk, and when I say educated, I'm not even talking about formal education. I'm talking about people that literally don't want to read and enlighten themselves on facts.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that typically vote for the Republicans. And it's one of the reasons that we have to stop writing in theses as Democrats, right?
Right.
Like, we want to give you every single little detail that we can find so that you can have all the information.
Now, the thing about Democrats like her and many others, they think that they are smarter than us. We have more education. We know more. But really, all you did was become indoctrinated. That's all you did. You didn't really learn what you needed to learn. You guys think you're so smart, like I said. They are the ones who were in favor of shutting the country down for an extended period of time, which was dumb from the beginning. They are the ones talking about, yeah, get the vaccination, although Trump was the one that put it out and promoted it. They were 100% behind it. They're behind Anthony Fauci and his ridiculous nonsense. They think that they are intelligent, but all they are is educated, which is not the same thing. You can be highly educated and a complete moron. Thinking you're smart, but you're really not. You don't know basic things about how human beings are. But anyway, that's what she says. Now we got Ilhan Omar saying the exact same thing. And my question is, if you're trying to gain people to vote for you, why would you insult them as a way to recruit? That's not going to be very effective, in my humble opinion. What say you? Y'all let me know.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
So there we go. We're just dumb. We don't know anything. That's why 77 million Americans voted for Trump, because we're just all dumb, backwater, hillbilly rednecks, don't know anything, don't know how to add 2 + 2, can't tie our own shoes, can't do anything. We're just completely dumb and dependent upon people like Ilhan Omar with I don't know what in her hair and this rap. What is under there? A WMD, a Law Walk Bar type action going on. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, that's not really effective. If you're trying to gain people on your side, insulting them is not going to help. You have to bring forward policy that makes sense, and you got to stop lying, because they love lying. Oh, that's their thing. They love lying. Now, I got to play this lady right here. I played her in my original video, but I didn't play the entire thing. Now, these are your typical leftist celebrity types, politician types. Her name is Natasha Lyonne, Lyonne. Do y'all know her? I don't know. I'm out of touch with popular culture, with the young people. I don't know what's happening. These people, I see, like, what's the boy's name? Timothy Chalamet. This dude looking like he's 5 years old, but at the same time 25 years old. I don't know what's going on with these people. But anyway, this kind of talk is what they say all the time, and they think that they sound so lofty, high and mighty, and intelligent, but they just sound ridiculous. Let's watch.
Trump. Ah, wow, what a guy. Yes, well, when the orange drips...
yeah, see, yeah.
It's very weird to have, like, a showbiz guy in charge is surreal. I mean, because...
yeah.
Well, I'm actually pretty horrified by how strategic and effective this whole thing has been, and I think there's a real disconnect in all of the noise around, like, the individuals that are going to be really taking the hits on a individual, like a human basis, in the trans community, gay community, black community.
See what I'm talking about? They always do that. They say trans, gay, black. Why are we always put into the category of the other? They will say that Trump, Elon Musk, etc. are white supremacists. Meanwhile, they will put all quote unquote other groups below whites, which is white supremacy. So I don't understand. It's so weird. They don't understand what they're saying. They just repeat talking points, and they are so silly. They don't understand what they're actually saying and how it sounds to people that have a brain.
You know, women, like the I hate violence so much, and I just think it's that's the part of it. Like this country's always had, you know, insanity, but to really have like a death toll.
Who sounds more coherent, this woman or John Fetterwoman? Y'all let me know. This woman or John Fetterwoman, as far as who sounds more coherent. Now, in the case of Fetterwoman, he had a brain injury, so I understand. Like, I'm not going to attack him for sounding like that because he had a brain injury, so he can't sound normal. But this woman, is she disabled? What's going on?
And be willing to do that is a pill too great for me to swallow. Like beyond the sort of dialectic around oligarchs and whatever else, it's like when I think of the kids or like the 12-year-old girl that can't get an abortion or something, or you know, it's that's what really like rips me apart.
Now people are saying, what is she talking about? Well, the question was about Trump and things that are going on. This is her take on the current state of politics in the USA. All right. That's what she was talking about, or that's what she was trying to talk about. But I guess it's us on the right that are the dumb ones. We are the unintelligent ones, right? That's what Ilhan Omar said. But if you ask a lot of your normie leftists in the street, they'll sound just like that. They'll sound just like that. And again, Fetterwoman has an excuse, an actual real excuse. He had a brain injury, so I get it. But that woman's just a regular normie. Is it English? Hey, that's a great question. I don't know. That might be Elvish. I don't know what language that is. Now, Rachel Maddow, she is kind of halfway alluding to MS-13 DNC being a tad bit racist for letting go of Joy Reid and Amen and Katie Fang and a bunch of other coloreds. And I appreciate Rachel Maddow for saying the appropriate term, which is not coloreds or people of color or black, BIPOC, BIPOC. She didn't say that. She just said non-white. I appreciate that. Rather than all these acronyms mean the same thing, just say non-white. Say what you want to say.
An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Reid Out, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible.
So again, I appreciate the term non-white because that's what it really is. All these fancy terms, BIPOC, POC, colored, is all means the same thing, non-white. So say what you want to say rather than trying to make it be fancy. I appreciate that, Rachel Maddow. I'll give you your flowers for that one. Kudos to you for that. Now, the problem with MS-13 DNC and firing all these non-white people, and I'll show you these guys right here. Okay, so you have Jonathan Capehart, who famously cried when Michael Fanone, the J6 cop, came on there. And by the way, Capehart is married to a white man. You have Joy Reid. She got let go. This guy, Ayman, he's Egyptian. He was let go. And also Katie Fain. They're all gone. Now, the problem is that these people don't really have the it factor to make it consistently on television. And if they did, they got a push from MSNBC. They should be able to go do what I do. Be a YouTuber. Okay? You can, Donovan for a while was able to do online stuff, but he kind of fell off. If you are as good as what you say, if you are as good as what we may think you could be by being on television, go do your own thing independently without having the machine behind you. And you should be able to have some kind of moderate success. If not, then you were just hired by the network because you were a diversity hire, basically. Megyn Kelly left Fox and is still able to do her thing independently. Sage Steele left ESPN and can still do her own thing independently. They don't require the network to be behind them. Okay? These individuals are not that talented, which is why they probably can't do anything on their own. And it's why they were not bringing in the ratings. They were not bringing in the views. Because ultimately, if MSNBC is able to make money with you, they'll keep you on. If they're not making money, they'll boot you off. As simple as that. Now, if this was Fox firing all these non-whites, then it would be seen as racist. But Fox is not in the business of hiring people that cannot get ratings, that cannot get views. Now, Katie Fain, if they were to promote her more and put her on during the actual week, she might have done better. Maybe, because she kind of looks the part. The rest of these people, personality, the way they look, all of that. And some might say I'm being superficial by talking about looks, but we're talking about show business. We're talking about TV. Okay? If I came on here looking like I smoke crack for a living, y'all be like, what's wrong with this guy? Why would I trust him? He got holes in his t-shirt. He got all type of stuff on his face. He got the crack pipe right in his ear. You'd be like, what's going on with this dude? You have to look presentable if you're going to be on a camera. And that's why the phrase "a face for radio" exists. Okay? Rush Limbaugh, one of the best to ever do it. He wasn't a looker at all, but his voice, great. His mind, great. He was able to thrive on radio for forever. So again, you're going to be on TV, you got to do certain things, and they did not have it, in my humble opinion. All right, let's watch some more here. And this is Joy Reid talking one way and then a different way before and after being fired.
There's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like, Green Waterworks. White men can get away with that too, and it has the same effect.
My show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV.
There's a thing.
Okay, so white girl tears, white man tears, you want to mock that, and it's all fun. But then when something happened to you, now we got to experience your tears. We got to take that seriously. Okay. All righty. Look, if I'm not going to cry for the white man when he cry, neither will I cry for you. I'm not crying for nobody, really, unless something really happens to you. I mean, people get fired every day. It is what it is, man. It's part of life. I'd have been fired. You'd have been fired. She'd have been fired. So what, man? That's part of life. You know what I mean? And look, if your show had value, you're still a household name. People know who you are. People that I've not seen on TV for many years, I still know their name. Melissa Harris Perry from MSNBC. She was on there for quite a while. Well, not that long, like 4 years. She had a show for 4 years. But her show ended in 2016. I still know her name right now, and I've not seen her since. You're a household name. So if you're that good, your podcast right here should take off. It should take all the way off. And if you're not that good, it won't take off. That's all, man. And, I want a lot of the mainstream media to die off. And these people who are on television, given the spot by the machine, I want them to be able to go out there and build an audience on their own merit rather than relying upon the machine to build an audience for them, which is artificial at best. They're just watching TV because you're on, not necessarily because you are on. All right. And if people are watching you because you're on, do your podcast, keep that same fan base, keep the party going. Okay. Now let's continue. All right. I want to show you guys something. Let me see if I can find it right quick, because that's pretty important about, from my friend Keisha. Shout out Keisha King. She was on my show before. We did a live stream together. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
All right. And she got married recently. So congratulations to Keisha for getting married. All right. Now, this is her asking the question. Do you guys remember what Joy Reid said as far as the crazy books that are in K through 12 public schools? Let's watch.
Do y'all remember when Joy Reid said this?
Yeah. The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anal raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. In what context is a strap-on acceptable for public school? That's my question to you.
Now, the question is, if you got to bleep out the things that are in the book that's available for children to read in the public school library, then maybe the kids shouldn't be reading it. It's not that difficult to make that assertion. Am I right or am I wrong? Y'all let me know.
Tell me what the context around the strap-on or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You
the
just
name of the
remembered
author
very
doesn't
specific name.
Joy.
Here's my question.
We're talking about
Here's my
strap.
question.
You didn't answer my question.
No. What I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to be an expert to know that those aren't appropriate for public school. Come on, let's get real.
This is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about rape
and each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read.
Right.
So I'll pause it right there. Why is Joy Reid arguing for children to be able to read books that have such gross and inappropriate material in it? Why is that a fight to fight? And I think at a certain point she knows it, but let me go back. This face right here, she knows that what the woman is saying is correct. Talking about some, do you have an expert? An expert? Do I need to be an expert to realize that it's inappropriate for a child to read? If it has that subject matter in it, a child shouldn't be reading it. And then she's like, why can't a parent decide? That's not how it works, man. There's certain things that are illegal regardless, okay? A child cannot consent to certain things that we know. It doesn't matter if the parent says they can, they can't. If a parent does something to a child, it can be illegal and they could go to the penitentiary. It doesn't matter that that's a parent. You can't abuse these kids and do the things that are mentioned in that book to them, or else you go to the penitentiary. You could be the parent or not the parent. You're still going to prison, as you should. We have a responsibility in our society to protect people, especially children. You can't just do whatever you want because that's your child. It's simple. We're talking about religion and raising standards. Okay, that's one thing. But assaulting them, things of that nature, no. We don't do that. Allowing them to read pornography, putting the book in their hands, talking about, hey, read this. We don't do that. If you show an explicit image to a minor, that's a charge. That's a charge right there. You're going to prison. So you shouldn't be able to do that in the public school library. Am I making sense or am I just talking crazy? Y'all let me know. Anyway, that is part of the reason why we're glad that Joy Reid is gone. That's why. Not because she had the funny wig on or because she was annoying. or because she didn't look that good. It's because of the things that she said. Period. Point blank, period. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, there's a rumor about SNAP benefits going away, and that's not going to happen because that'll create civil unrest. But some people say, you know what? Look, if it goes away, then so what? Let me play you this clip right here. All right. And shout out to the mail lady, I believe. Shout out to her.
I hear a lot of people out here talking about, oh, Trump finna stop food stamps and government assistance. What am I going to do? What the fuck you think you need to do? Your ass need to get up and work and stop being fucking lazy.
I'm sorry for the cussing.
Period. Because we don't want to hear the pity party. You know what I'm saying? And y'all been getting over for years, to be honest, and to keep it all the way 100. A lot of y'all been living off food stamps for 15 and 20 years. And that's just ridiculous. Like, what about the people like me that work hard every day and got to pay for groceries? I don't feel like that's fair. If anything, we should be the one eligible for food stamps. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of y'all are lazy. Y'all don't want to do shit. But yet y'all steady laying up having babies. Sitting around crying and you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Get y'all ass up and work. Period. Plain and simple.
There we go. So shout out to her. Hey, shout out to the mail lady. I apologize for the cussing, but the message is the message. The message is the message. 100%, she said it perfectly. It's like, so what? Like, y'all just want to sit around, do nothing, be lazy, crying, eating food, getting fat, having all these kids? Nah. It should be those who actually contribute to society and work very hard, who get rewarded for our hard work, rather than y'all just taking, and you're able-bodied, don't want to do anything, just lazy, sitting in your hind part. So yeah, I agree with that. But again, they're not gonna remove SNAP. But what I think they should do is make SNAP to where you can't get certain items with it. You can't get all these ridiculous foods, watermelon flavored bacon and stupid stuff like this. You know, salt, fat, sugar. You weigh 1,000 pounds. You're burdening the healthcare system. That kind of stuff should go. Especially when talking about SNAP benefits, being able to pay for it. So yeah, shout out to her. Very good message from the mail lady. Right on. I see you with the mail emoji, Crow Minion. Shout out to the mail emoji. Now, here is somebody talking about the Elon email. Oh, the Elon email got him in the tizzy. They got him in the frenzy. I don't want to send the email. I hate Elon. Elon man bad. Tesla man bad. South Africa. Go back to Africa. You had white liberals really saying go back to Africa on the streets. I was flabbergasted. I'm like, go back to Africa? I've not heard that since the 1980s. But anyway, let's watch this right here.
Okay, so I am a federal employee that got an email this Saturday basically stating that I needed to highlight 5 accomplishments that I had last week. And to me, that was not a huge deal. I am someone who likes to highlight my accomplishments, and it was sent over in about a email that took me six minutes, something like that. I used to work for the private sector for about 13 years, so I was held accountable every day. I had lists of things that needed to be done every day, and it was just not a big deal to me to send that out. So I just want to say that. I would say highlight the things that you do. Highlight, who you are as a federal employee and the things that you're accomplishing. Like, just say it. I would encourage you to do that.
There we go. So shout out to her. It's really simple. It's really simple. It's like, look, it's called being held accountable. What do you do every day? 5 things. You can't just say that right quick in the email. That don't take no time out of your day. A quick email, send that, and you're done. So shout out to her. That was fantastic. She was whispering, not talking too loud or too much, straight to the point. I'm with it 100%. Okay, I am with it 100%. You guys couldn't hear her, or are you able to hear her? First. Now, this person, on the other hand, did not like what Elon sent with the email. She didn't like it, and let's hear from her.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked about after getting it.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit. And that makes me really angry, and my coworkers as well.
Okay, let's read the email right here. So the title, what did you do this week? Or what did you do last week? Question. That's a question for the title. And then it says, please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments. Deadline is this Monday at 11:59 p.m. EST. So you have all day Monday to do this. You get the email on Saturday. Okay, you want your weekend to yourself. Cool. First thing in the morning Monday, take 5 minutes out of your day and send an email. Now, to do this CNN interview, I'm sure took you a lot longer than it would have taken to send the email to Elon Musk or whoever you had to send it to. Okay. You had to set this up, and I've been on TV before. I know how it goes. It's a whole process. Okay. First, you got to schedule it. So you're going back and forth, wait on the time to schedule the interview. Then you got to have your audio, video check, all of that, sound check, your background, have all that done. Then you go on, you go live. You're probably waiting there for a while. And then they might hit you with the 3, 2, 1. Or y'all be behind the scenes talking for a while. Then y'all stop. 3, 2, 1. Then she'll ask a question and she answers. It's a whole process. That process is longer than answering an email about 5 bullet points about what you did last week. Okay, so you got time. You just don't want to do it because you're being rebellious. If that's the case, just say that. Just say that. Exactly, Bully Dog. It's longer to do the interview. The interview was longer. Now, the Breakfast Club interview, I got you. Somebody asked me for that. Hey, I'm already right there ahead of you. Now, this was fantastic. You had a federal worker or a person that claimed to be, and I don't see why they would lie. They called the Breakfast Club and they were talking about the email is not bad. It's a good thing. Let's listen, because Breakfast Club loves to do copyrights. Hey, Breakfast Club, look, it's been years. Y'all been on the air. Stop all this copyright stuff. Like, we're going to do reaction videos. That's part of what YouTube is. Just stop giving me the copyright claim. Just let me play it. I got to put overlays and have y'all be doing freeze frames while the audio was going. It's just kind of silly. But anyway.
Department of Human Services.
Okay. So they were asking her where she lives and where she works. But she didn't want to say her name, of course, because people are going to get mad at her for being a so-called snitch.
Okay. Well, now, what's up? How are you feeling? Did you get one of those emails? Talk to us.
Yes, I got the email, and I honestly feel like this is a great opportunity to outline what you as an employee bring to the bring to the federal government. And if it's really good what you outline, they could give you an opportunity to get a promotion or something. Like, God forbid they ask you what you've done. Any other job, they'll ask you at the end of the week, at the end of the month, because I used to do bookkeeping. Okay, so what do we do, at the end of the month? What are the clients that we have to, gear towards to? So at the end of the day, God forbid anybody make any, and it's this democratic thing. It's like, I don't want to get the parties into it, but they don't want to go to work. They want to work from home. People are not working from home. This is what you signed up for. If you don't like it, resign. You know what I'm saying? They gave you the opportunity to find another job. I mean, it's not that hard. You're complaining about actually working. I don't get it.
I'm not mad at your perspective. That's why I like talking to people. I like talking to people, and I like talking to people who are in it, because everybody sees things a different way. I haven't heard this perspective.
Do you feel like there are a lot of people that are not working, that are taking days off? I guess exactly.
Absolutely. I work.
Pause. Now, to you guys out there in the workforce, I've never done corporate America in my life, actually. I'm not trying to brag. It wasn't a fit for me. Like I said, I was looking like Gucci Man in 2006. I was looking just like I was just too big, too black, too loud, too raw. I just would not have fit into a corporate environment. And I know that. And it's not about race or nothing like that, because really people were scared of me, and it'd be the black folks who were scared of me the most. So it's not about white man, nothing like that. I just knew I didn't fit in the corporate environment, and that's fine. A lot of men don't fit in the corporate environment. So I would have had to gone blue collar, which I wouldn't have mind. Like, I was trying to be a firefighter at one point in my life, and I almost did it when I was like about 30, 31. I would have rather have done that and still done other things on the side rather than to be in the office. So I've never had that kind of life. For you guys that have done that, what is your view on work from home and also employees, your coworkers that don't want to work? What is your take on that? Is that a big thing? Is it a problem, or is it overblown? Y'all let me know in the comments.
I work from home, and do you know where Donald Trump got the gadget idea? Because Elon Musk, he fired like 80% of the Twitter people or Tesla people for his company, because you can buy a gadget that actually shakes up like you're at the desk, but you're really not working. Because the computers, it shuts off if it's non-activity within like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it requires you to actually work from home. But it's gadgets around that, and people are actually buying it and using it and not working. And this is our taxpayers' money, and you have to work. Yeah, you don't like it, get another job. But the people that's complaining about writing an email, it's going to take, 5 minutes out of your day, 10 minutes? I read on Twitter, a guy was complaining, it's going to be an hour. It takes you an hour to write 5 things that you completed? Okay. Maybe you do need another job.
Oh, so you agree with it. Okay. Thank you, Mama.
The great
So DJ Envy does not like the woman's perspective. He doesn't like it because he's not a fan of Elon. But DJ Envy, bro, you got bigger problems to worry about. Mr. Real Estate Scam, allegedly. You and Big Pun out there selling them fake houses in New Jersey. We ain't forget about that, DJ Envy. Don't be on your high horse talking all this jazz. You should listen to what she's saying, because she's talking about working honestly. What you know about that, DJ Envy? Honest work, not stealing, not robbing people. What you know about that, Envy? Nothing. I'm triggered. But anyway, shout out to the caller on Breakfast Club. You said everything perfectly. 100% perfect. And those are the kind of people that you want on the job. People that actually work and help you make money. Okay, that's what you want. Very simple. Okay, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. A gadget, what that is, basically what she was talking about, is a device that will auto wake your computer or make your mouse. Because what they do with work from home, there's little things that they can detect if you actually at your computer doing anything. And they have devices that can override that. You could buy a device and fool your computer into having activity as if you're working, because they do that and they go do other things. Okay, working from home, but then they go day drinking, going to brunch. I've heard about a situation where there was an investigation on the woman because she had a whole other job and barely did her work from home job. She did her work from home job like 3 hours out of the day rather than 8, and had an actual in-person job she went to every day. They were like, nah, we ain't going to do that. You're not going to shortchange us on productivity and give more productivity to a whole nother job. So basically her work from home job was like, okay, your hours are from 8 to 5 or whatever the case may be. 8 to 4, 8 to 5, 9 to 5. But during that time, she'd be at another job working and still getting paid from work from home job. And she would just do a little bit of work when she had downtime at her other job, which is completely crazy. Completely crazy. You cannot do that unless they allow you to do it, which they don't allow you to do it. Now, part of the reason I wanted to be a firefighter is because Dad told me, he was like, look, you're at the station 24 hours a day. You could do other things while you're there. You could do your graphic design while you're there. They ain't going to trip. That's fine. Okay. See, that would have worked perfect. but you're in a corporate environment where they're paying for your time to be there and you can't be doing other things and you got to be productive the whole time. They don't want you to be trying to double dip like that. That's not really a thing that they want. Anyway, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. I think I had more here. Oh, do I have one more? Let me see if I got one more. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All right. I have a little bit more, but I know my time is running very short. Very, very short. Oh, I want to play this about DEI. So you have a famous black businessman, Jamal Bryant, talking to Cam Newton, NFL football player Cam Newton, on the podcast about DEI. Okay, let's watch this. Then we're going to get to the calls. Okay, you put it on the screen. And again, shout out Cam Newton for the clip.
What about DEI now? When you see major companies, Fortune 500 companies taking hits and some taking gains because of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And some would say like, yo, we going AI. I don't want to feel obligated to do certain things, but for the certain people who have been oppressed, suppressed, and forgotten, we need our jobs. We need equal rights. What's your stance on that?
I don't care about DE&I. I've said in op-eds in Time Magazine, Black Enterprise, and Fortune, you want to kill it, kill it. It's already been weaponized. It's been made political and emotional, and it's dead. DE&I as a program is effectively dead. I don't care about DE&I. I love diversity, and I love math because it doesn't have an opinion, and God has a sense of humor.
Right.
So for the first time in history, this country cannot succeed without all of us. In 1950, America...
I mean, this ain't the one I wanted because he was talking about, this ain't the right video. That is his opinion and that's fine. But what I wanted to show you was where he was talking about how DEI does not help us. We're like number 8 on the list. These guys, a lot of these guys are kind of double-minded. They'll sit there and talk about, I'm a victim, crying about being the victim on one breath. Then on the next breath, they say things that are kind of more uplifting and empowering. But anyway, shout out to him. That was a fail on my part for playing that one. Do I have one more? I think I'm good. I think I am good. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's get to some super chats and we're going to get to the phone calls. The number to call again, 434-658-1220. Again, the number's in the chat. Let me read super chats and then we get to the calls. All right. Thank you to the white man who gifted 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Kai's Posthumous who says, ABL, how about the agitators following ICE around? I've not seen them, but not surprised. Thank you to Kai's Posthumous again who says, how about the mini bike gang creating chaos in LA? Oh, I've seen them. But the thing about them is that there's no law enforcement that does anything. I saw them go on a high-speed chase that became a low-speed chase, which ain't nothing but an escort. Like, you had the police pretty much just escorting them back to wherever they wanted to be. Law enforcement in Los Angeles don't have any power. Or they don't have enough power, in my opinion. Thank you to Kyle Sprochman again, who says, RIP to the Texas Ranger deleted by a planted IED. RIP. Thank you to Black Suburban Dad Reviews, who says, have you noticed Jasmine Crockett has been in the news a lot lately, and the Democrats are looking for a star? They're going to try to push her to run against, not Jermaine Dupri, J.D. Vance, but the ghetto energy will sink her. Correct. Right on. Thank you for that, boss. Thank you to Kai Sprochman, who says, what say you on this Ukraine-NATO mineral deal? It's not a big deal to me, in my humble opinion. Thank you to Jaleisha Salvatore for becoming the ABL supporter. Thank you to Whalers 860, who says, Omar robbing Americans in the name of Allah. Facepalm. Thank you to Patrick Jean for the Fox emoji. Number 1, thank you to Dolores for your super chat. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, RIP to Virginia Beach police officer Cameron Gervin, 25, and Christopher Reese, 30, who died in the line of duty Saturday during a routine traffic stop. I saw that. And the guy who took their life took his own life. That was out there on Lake Haven in Green Run. Yeah, gang run, as I call it. Very dangerous area. I was riding with a friend of mine. Shout out to John. Puerto Rican dude, hilarious. I'm not black. You're looking like Pimp C in the face. But anyway, John's my man. But I'm in the car with John, and we get pulled over in gang run, like on Lane Haven, and the police, I don't know what they had this night, some kind of spotlight, like a stadium spotlight, the whole car lit up. He was like, man, I'm probably about to get locked up. It was crazy. Like, out there, it's dangerous. So RIP to those officers, man. That's a really dangerous area. I never really felt safe out there in that particular swing canal, all of that stuff. Very dangerous. Thank you to Dolores again for your super chat. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says, ABL, did you see the smoke-filled New York subway train? I did not see that. That's why I'm not a big New York fan, stuff like that. I'm cool. Thank you to Jake, who says YouTubers won the election. That's for dang sure. Rocking chair, Granny, listen to ABL and voted. Right on. Shout out to you. Thank you for that. Thank you to Kelly K, who says, I worked in corporate America for 15 years. Go meeting in person every Monday morning. Status email on Thursdays. Status meeting on Fridays. The feds can miss me with that email drama. Exactly. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just send the email, 5 things you did, and go about your business. It ain't that deep at all. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Let's get to super chats. I mean, the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And there's an email and Skype. You could be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, talking about whatever that's not too crazy out the way. And again, 434-658-1220. All right. Let me get my sound together. And where we at? There we go. Okie dokie. Let's go. 949. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Joseph. Anthony, it's nice speaking with you. Listen, I watch the news and print and such. Elon Musk, his name is always billionaire Elon Musk. So what I think we should do now is call anyone like Oprah Winfrey, billionaire Oprah Winfrey, or perhaps, let's say, multimillionaire Chuck Schumer, or multimillionaire Elizabeth Warren, and so on and so on. Let's just preference all their names. Who's multimillionaires and who's millionaires and billionaires, not just Elon. I don't understand why they always call him billionaire Elon Musk. It should be, if you want to fight fire with fire, just start referring to all these other people as millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires, and then their name. And that's basically all I had.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfectly said. But you know why? Well, I have my opinion about why they keep calling him billionaire Elon Musk. It's to create envy. Okay, he's successful. I'm not successful. Therefore, I hate him. To stoke the Elon derangement syndrome. Or I call it the Musk Elon derangement syndrome. That's MEDS, meds. Because a lot of these people are going to be driven to needing medication after they have been infected with this disorder. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 469. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Julie Sierra. I had to step outside, but I wanted to talk to you about that fruit flavored stuff.
You said what now?
The fruit, you know how whenever, man, and the wind is blowing against my grain. You know how like when the fruits, they have weird flavors like cotton candy, or the fruits be looking too big, you know, stuff like that. I wanted to comment on that. But I know my family is just being annoying. I can't.
Okay.
So what do you think about that? Like with things being like you inserting other flavored fruits. So I feel like, isn't that like, you know, like they make like the LGBT, oh, you can be a woman, you can be a man, you can be anything you want to be. So do you think that makes people like, are we in a make-believe world?
I don't really understand. So you're talking about fruits? They put fake flavors and fruits in the grocery store?
Right.
I've not seen that. I'm not familiar with it. All I know is just regular old.
Oh, dang.
So
That's happening in Texas. Like, where you from? You from what state?
Okay, so I'm asking you a question. So when you go to the store, you go to the get apples, right? Just regular apples. Do they have Do they have flavored apples that are just not regular apples?
Flavored, yes, flavored apples, flavored grapes, flavored oranges, where you inject the oranges. I know, like there's red, like the blood orange and stuff like that. But this was like a weird one, like lemonade flavored orange. I'm like, what? I just get scared. And I'm like, what is this? Are we going in the future? Should I just be like, oh, roll with it or no?
No, if I see something like that, I'm not going to buy it. I've never seen that before in my life, and if I do see it, I'm going to avoid it like the plague. I will never do something like that.
Well, they got it in Texas, so they got this fake stuff, and I'm like, and then the foods be like when you get the grapes, it's like 3 times as big. I'm like, why is it that big? And I don't know. It just scares me. And then I was like, with the work from home thing, I know you were talking about that briefly. I know I'm like with my family and they got their stuff going on. But I work from home, and I'm like, but people, like when I work from home, if nobody's doing their job, I feel slighted. I'm be like, I really do want to get rid of you because you're not doing anything. Because it's going to ruin me from, like, I work at the office 2 days a week, and then I work from home 3 days a week. So it's like, if you're not doing anything, why should I keep you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody should be productive, and if you're not, then you're just in the way.
Right. Sorry, it's cold outside. I had to come in here so you didn't have that loud noise.
Right, I got you.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I love you. Bye.
All right, now shout out to the caller. I appreciate her. But yeah, flavored fruit, like fake flavors pumped into the fruit, no thank you. An apple tastes just fine off the tree. It's okay, I promise. 321, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name is April.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, I'm just calling to. Am I on the air right now?
You're live on the air.
Oh, awesome. Okay. ABL, I'm just calling to say I love your show. I've been watching you for years, and Trump is rocking it in his first 100 days. I love it. I love everything he's doing. I love what Elon's doing, and just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great. That's it. That's all I got for you.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. I appreciate everybody for supporting. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all good. Okay. 859, your line speaker too.
Elon's doing.
Hey, how's it going, ABL? How's it going? Been door dashing out here, and I just stopped by the Taco Tico and got myself a burrito, listen to your show, and take a little break. What's up, my brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I'm all right. I mean, I don't know. It seems kind of funny. The media has a unhealthy hatred toward Elon Musk. My opinion about Elon Musk, he's hit or miss. He does some good things. He does some weird things. He does some things that I'm like, questions my insanity. But at the exact same time, this is like legit criticism. But the hatred towards him makes no sense because all these media sources are run by billionaires. Billionaire Elon Musk, like, well, the magazines that run this stuff are owned by billionaires. And the other caller mentioned about how about we start naming off these other people billionaires? Like, they make it sound like it's some kind of gross curse or a slur. Like, so what? He's a billionaire. He was like the scientist of the modern world. That's why he's a billionaire. It makes no sense that these liberals are butt wiped or upset over the most silliest thing because he chose a side. Like, every billionaire in this country does that, and they lobby to other government parties and political parties all the time. That's no different, and I think it's silly.
Right on. But you know the whole thing about Elon and the media, they want to make him be the same as Trump. They want to make you be afraid of him, so you reject him. That's all. I
mean, it's just, I mean, like, Donald Trump is a narcissistic, ADHD person, and Elon Musk has autism. Yeah, they're dysfunctional. But you know what? All the stuff they say about him is highly exaggerated lies, or they go off saying they're racist or fascist, and I don't see a racist bone on either one of their bodies. I mean, xenophobic, that's a whole different story, but that has nothing to do about race. Like, the logic of these liberals make no sense at all.
Xenophobic where?
Like, paranoia about, immigrants coming over here. And yet, that's the thing is, every country has some level of that. And look at Japan. They have that's their whole culture. They're very xenophobic.
Well, Elon is an immigrant, isn't he?
Yeah, he is an immigrant. He got here legally. But the thing is, he was a genius. He was basically a person who has, a genius IQ. Of course, we're going to take this guy. That's the reality. That's capitalism,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really on board with the whole xenophobic thing. I think that they want people to come over here that are going to be productive and not be terrorists and criminals like Trinidad Agua and whatnot. I think that's the main thing. And I think that all Americans want the same thing. They don't want to have the problems that migrants bring.
I agree with you on that. I don't think Trump or Elon Musk have bad intentions, but you got some people who are slightly bigoted who just don't think black and white instead of shades of gray. Not every person who votes conservative is a person who thinks every person's that way or immigrants are that bad. But you got those people who are just narrow-minded. Not all of them are like that, but you got a small few like that. This basically just the media just eats that crap up and just film them online and just make us people who are saying look bad.
Yeah, of course. There's always going to be people that take things to the extreme, regardless of what political party they're in. But I don't think that's Trump or Elon. I think that they're pretty fair, but in the eyes of the media, they are evil. And the objective is to get you and everybody else to find some fault. And the ones that really they hate them a lot. And they spend a lot of their time talking about how bad they are. It's really a mess, man. That creates the, I said it before. I said it a few years ago, that Trump derangement syndrome and now Musk Elon derangement syndrome is contagious and you catch it from television.
Well, that's true. But, there's some form of, medium criticism. Granted, Donald Trump was fantastic with the economy. The economy was banging. He had lower taxes. The economy was booming. But there was also faults when he was doing deals with Saudi Arabia that I've complained about so many times. And he basically gave more lackluster in this first year with China, which that was a big mistake. And now we have air balloons flowing over us because we have the next president has Alzheimer's, didn't know what he's doing. So, there's fair criticism on both sides. But I largely have criticism, not some crazy lunacy media saying, oh, he's fascist, he's racist, he's all these other buzzwords that makes no sense to me.
Right on. I got you.
And I largely think about these things. There's good qualities and bad qualities on every candidate or every president. And that's how I view it as in the first place. But the media just overhype stuff, and it's just so annoying. And the worst part is it's always the left who are the ones who exaggerates the most. It's silly. Ever since 2016, they have become like the 90s version of Fox News.
Okay, interesting.
Think about it. I'm just saying, Fox News back in the day, they did a lot of exaggerations on wars and a lot of coverage about that. And the liberals are now becoming pro-war with this whole Ukraine and Russia stuff. So, I want to ask these liberals who are still supposing voting liberals, why? What's up with the change? What's up with being pro-war also?
Good question.
Yeah, and it makes no sense because you're talking to a person that was very anti-Bush back in the early 2000s.
Right, of course.
Antifa way up there, I'm saying back in 2005 and stuff like that. But it makes no sense to me that these modern-day liberals, they take the LGBT exaggeration, and it's annoying. It really is. And you know how you have criticism towards... Well, I want
to cut you off, but we got callers on the line. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem, man. I'm sorry. I'll go through a rant, man. I'll talk to you about... See you later, man.
All right, now.
Bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man for the call. I saw something right here I want to show you guys right quick. This is from Steak and Shake. So I have not been there before, but because they announced this, I'm going to go visit. And when I get an order of fries and see what they're hitting on. Okay, so check it out. It says Steak and Shake announces branches in 5 states have been RFK'd will RFK all branches by March 1st. Okay, so look, tallow fries now in Ohio, Colorado, Florida, Texas, and Oklahoma. By March 1st, all locations, fries will be RFK'd. So made with 100% beef tallow. Okay, so you want your fries, they can shake. No more seed oil. They're going to do beef tallow. I can't wait. Hey, I have never in my life been to a Steak and Shake. No, I'm lying. I've been there one time. I went there one time in Miami. Yep. In Brickell, they had one, I think. And I went there. It was all right. It wasn't all that. It wasn't, but I didn't have the fries. I had like a sandwich and that was it. So next time I go, I'm gonna get some of them fries. All right. So yeah, shout out to Steak and Shake. Shout out to RFK. Are making us a lot healthy. Making America healthy again. I need some of those hats in the store. MAHA. MAHA, Make America Healthier Again. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, it's not all that. Yeah, it was okay from what I saw. It wasn't necessarily the best thing in the world, but it was all right. I'm gonna give it a shot because they got the beef tallow starting March 1st. 469, you don't line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, calling out of Lubbock, Texas. This is Cameron. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. I do have a question about some of the territorial expansion ideas I keep hearing from Trump. I keep hearing about the whole Canada being the 51st state. We're going to get Greenland. Now Gaza's the new thing, the Panama Canal. Now I'm going to, no shade to my fellow Canadians here, but I don't think Canada being the 51st state makes sense, but that's just me. Which one of those do you think is the most likely to happen in the next 4 years?
Greenland.
Okay. Is there any reason why?
Because we're not the only country trying to get it. China's trying to get it. Russia wants to get it, maybe. But China is not even trying to hide it. They wanted Greenland for quite a while because of the geopolitical interests. So that'll be one we can get. And I think Panama Canal will get that as well. But Greenland, I think, is probably the most important one. Canada being the 51st state, I'm not quite sure. I think the objective is to be like, Russian Federation, where they have a lot of territory. So you could have the North America part of, you could have the USA part of North America, then right above us, Canada, and then right above that, or right next to it, also North America, Greenland. So just for geopolitical. Canada, I don't see, but Greenland, I do see.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm not really too fond of making Canada the 51st state. I don't think it makes sense on any angle, to be honest. But I would be in favor of maybe merging our economies together. I think that might be something that we could probably agree on. What do you think about that idea?
I don't know about that because you kind of like trying to have one without the other. If you're going to have a merged economy, let's have a merged country. If we're not going to have a merged country, let's have separate economies. That'd be how I do it.
Okay, that makes sense. I do have one smaller question before I let the next caller take it, but it is not really politically related. Is that all right?
Go for it.
Sure. So you and I are both Southerners. I'm planning a vacation. What's an underrated destination in the Deep South for anyone to visit?
Okay, so where do you live now? What state?
Texas.
Texas, okay. Texas. Have you been to Destin, Florida?
I have not. I've never been to Florida at all, actually.
Okay, so I think you'll like it. They call Destin the Redneck Riviera. It's a cool place to go. You don't got to be redneck to go there, but it's nice. That's right by, that's on the Gulf Coast of Florida on the Panhandle.
Right on the Gulf of America, huh?
There you go. Perfect.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. I'll look into that. You have a good one, sir.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All righty. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, that seems to be a really big destination. Destin, anywhere in Florida, really. Florida is great. I could say go to Miami, go to Tampa. I love Miami and Tampa. You could go to Orlando, go to Disney, but definitely Tampa. I love Tampa and Miami. Those are my two favorite places in Florida. But you could also go to Destin, Florida, on the Gulf of America. New Orleans also is kind of underrated, but I don't know. It's kind of, I would go to like Alabama, somewhere like that. That's also close to Destin, Alabama. What do y'all think? What's a good southern place to go for like vacation? What do y'all think? Pensacola Beach, that's another one, Ansel. Yep, Pensacola Beach. That's right there by Destin. Yep. You been there, Steve Kerfuffle? Uh-huh. Gulf Shores, Alabama, Orange Beach, Atlanta. Tybee Island, yeah. Tybee Island's cool. Savannah. Yep. Where else? Let me see. Marco Island, I've not been there. Dauphin Island, Mobile, Alabama. I don't know about that one. We got two from Mobile. Okay, interesting. Florida Keys. Yeah, of course, Florida Keys. Down there by Cuba, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Cancun in Mexico. I don't know about that one. I ain't trying to get kidnapped by the cartel out there. Yeah. Denver, Colorado, no way. I don't smoke crack in public, so I'm not going to Denver, Colorado no time soon. If I enjoy smoking crack in public or at all, then I go to Denver. That'd be a fantastic location. Hey, you want to smoke crack freely and a little bit of meth on the side, then you could go to Denver and have a great old time. Now, Denver, you got some natural beauty in that area of the country, but you got some bad policy in Denver, Colorado. I've not been to Sarasota, Florida. I've not been there. I like Arizona. Arizona's cool. Phoenix is cool. It's just hot in the summertime. Phoenix is great in the wintertime. Like when it's not warm in the rest of the country, you go to Phoenix, it's a cool little vibe. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. CB says New Orleans, just avoid all gas stations and liquor stores. Okay. Yeah, that's regular, hoodonomics. I'm not going to the gas station. Them boys out there 15 deep at the gas station. I'm cool on that. Arizona's horrible. Savannah, Georgia. One thing about like North Florida, South Georgia, it's beautiful. It really is. I've driven to Florida through Georgia, and what you're going to see down in South Georgia, a lot of cotton fields. Endless rows and rows and rows of cotton. Now, I'd have thought about getting out of my vehicle and picking a little bit of cotton. Just a little bit, just for myself to put in my pocket, but I know that might not be very safe. Okay, I think ain't nobody around. Okay, I don't see nobody for a long way. It might be kind of abandoned. I get out my car and get one little piece of that raw cotton, and as soon as I do, it's going to be a bullet right here. Tink! So I'm good. I don't want to play no games. You understand what I'm saying? I'm cool on that. Now, I know somebody will pick that. Oh, he wants to pick cotton, Some mouth breather will do that because it's what they do all day. That's going to be the 1,000-pound dude with his flip phone in Eastern Russia that do something like that. I'm going to throw ABL now with this clip on this. I found on this live stream. That's what they do. All right, but yeah, it's beautiful down there. Even with the cotton, when you see like the old plantation and the cotton, it looks really nice. Okay, very very nice. Where I want to go is some of these old plantations that still have like a resort. I want to go there and just see how the whole thing worked. How the lands were. And they still got some of the slave quarters. I want to see that as well. Yeah, I want to see like anything dealing with history. I want to see it. I want to see like some of the old abandoned gold rush towns, some of the old plantations, some of the first settlements. Of course, being from Virginia or living in Virginia, when we had field trips, we go to Colonial Williamsburg, Jamestown. We would see all of that. And sometimes we see the reenactments. They be out there wearing the 1776 stuff. It's crazy to see that in person. Okay. Oh, was my Russian like a Nigerian? I thought the accent was good. That's the black Russian accent right there. Yeah, South Carolina, yes. Yeah, very beautiful South Carolina. Tulsa, South Carolina, very nice. Boll Weevil Monument in Enterprise, Alabama. Shout out to the Boll Weevils. Mississippi and Vicksburg. Okay. Yeah, I got family from, well, they married into their family, but that's my family from Mississippi, Gulfport, Mississippi. That's where they from. Shout out to my aunt from out that way. All right, let's keep on going here. 434-658-1220. 253, you don't know how much we could do.
Hi, my name is Leah.
All righty, what's going on?
Oh, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. So, first of all, I wanted to say that, so I was watching TV one day. I had YouTube on and I was watching you. And my husband comes into the room and he's kind of just watching you for a couple minutes. And then a couple days later, I swear I hear your voice from across the house. And so I go into the other room. I go, hey, Dia. And then here's my husband. He's watching you on his phone. And I'm like, oh, my God. So I gave him a hug. So anyway, you probably know I'm talking about him. So my closest friend, she was asking me what I thought of Elon Musk. And I don't think she votes or anything, but she was wondering if I had a concern. And I was like, what's your problem with it? And this whole DOGE thing. And she goes, well, he's like so rich. And so she thought that was a concern, but it got me, I asked her, like, what's your suggestion then? Who else should do it? And of course she had no response to that. And it also got me thinking, when you apply for a job and they do your background check, they also check your credit score. So they do that because you're probably more likely, if you have financial issues, you might not be good with money management in the company. You might not be a good representative. You might actually be a risk for fraud. And so I look at Elon Musk like that. What would that guy have to gain from taking people's social security numbers, which is ridiculous anyway? So that was my thought.
Right on, and you're 100% right. The person that said, "Oh, he's rich," all of that, they're just watching television because, like an earlier caller said, they keep prefacing his name with billionaire Elon Musk, billionaire, billionaire, billionaire. They're stoking the envy and the jealousy. They don't talk about anybody else like that. They don't talk about Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom as millionaires, which they are millionaires, and a lot of them make their money through illicit means, but they don't talk about that. But with Elon, they do to stoke that feeling of envy. That's all that it is.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Right on.
Totally agree.
Well,
anyway, that's all I want to say. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, that's all that it is. It's just trying to stoke that envy. It's really sad. I'm speaking to 617. You're on the line.
Hey, I was listening to a lady that called concerning about Elon Musk. I don't blame them. It's just Elon Musk is a high influencer, so he could influence everybody's life and opinions. People are not aware of that the U.S. government, saved Elon Musk with a contract, $1.8 billion from him going bankrupt. So because they don't know that, him being in a position that he is and having so much power, not being a government employee, he's not a government employee, right? So he's not a government employee, and he's demanding government employees to submit information of what they do for the last couple of weeks. It's just staggering to me. I mean, it's plus he have access to all these contracts, so he decides who gets what contract. So just imagine, he's like, okay, I have I have many companies that I've invested. If I have connection to this contract, who do you think I'm going to favor to?
What was that question again? Say that one more time.
If I have access to the contracts, this is the government have billions of dollars in contracts, from application, solar panel application, all this blah blah blah, all these contracts, right? And I have the only one who have the key for those contracts and the primary access to those contracts. who you think I'm going to favor to? You think I'm going to give let's say, a solar panel contract, I'm going to give it to XYZ company could do it for cheaper, or I'm going to give it to myself, or I'm going to give it to a company that I invest on. So the price the value per share could go up.
Okay, when you say so when you say having access to contracts, what does that actually mean?
Well, if I have access to military contracts, so you know how the bidding contract go for the federal government?
No. The question was, what does having access mean?
Access information to contracts.
So having the access in this case means he knows what the contract is.
Yes, he knows what the contract is.
So that would be enough for him to dictate who gets it?
Who get it? Yeah, he could say, well, I'm going to get contract A, B, C, D, E, F, and he could get them all.
How does that really work, though? Because, okay, if you know what the contract is, all right, I know that a basketball player got paid a big contract because it's in the news. Does it mean I can have access to it and decide to get the money for myself? Is that how that works? I don't understand. It's weird.
Okay, so either you're... So he have access. Let's say the contracts come from the military government. Let's say the government we want an applications, a contract application for the military. Let's say maybe one or two companies, 3 or 4 companies cannot do it, but he have a lot of investment in other companies. Investments. That's why he doesn't want to be an. That's why he doesn't.
You're not making sense. Like you had a thought that you were going to call me with, but your thought is not very well thought out. You're not making any kind of sense.
Yeah, it's thought out because if you have access to the contract, you could grab the contract and sign it to yourself.
No, that's not how it works. You can't. No. You can see what the contract is, but you can't alter it. You can't make the contract out to yourself. That's not how that works. Like you can see. Like, okay, you work in the bank. You can see the transactions, but you can't just write a check to yourself. That's called fraud. You can't do that. That's illegal.
So how the contracts are awarded? How you think the federal government contracts are awarded?
You tell me.
Okay. The federal contract awarded because this company put bid on it. So let's say GTE bid on some missile defense systems. Let's say
you got to tell me in a quick way. You're doing too much talking.
Okay, quick way. So if I'm the only one, I'm the primary person connected to the military contracts, I'm gonna get them to myself. I could be say, oh, my company, let's say you have investment in a company ABTO that work in military application. ABTO got the contract. XYZ got the. That's why he doesn't want to release.
That's not how it works.
Information. Okay,
Elon Musk is not the one. No. I'm gonna talk now. Elon Musk is not the one who is able to give contracts out. That's not how that works because he's able to see money that's being spent. He can't just say, oh, okay, I see the money being spent right there. I'm going to get a contract for myself. The government got to actually reward it with whatever they see.
And then who control the government right now?
Who controls the government? It's not Elon Musk.
Who control the...
We have the president, vice president, Congress. It's not Elon Musk.
No.
You think it's Elon Musk, but it's not.
The contract, listen, the contract goes from the executive branch to the contractor. That's the way it works.
Okay.
Who have bigger access to the executive branch right now?
Donald Trump, the president.
And then maybe him, but and then who else?
No, it's not Elon. Elon is not an elected official. Elon is not an executive branch of the government. That's Donald Trump, J.D. Vance. It's not Elon Musk. You think that Elon Musk has a lot of power that he does not have. It's just not the reality. You're living in a false world.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The National Security Advisor, the Vice President, the President, the Secretary of State cannot go out and ask the man for the federal employee workers to tell them what they did in XYZ for the last 2 weeks, whether they accomplished. If they don't, they get fired. They can't do that. But this guy that is not a government employee, is a consultant for the president, have more executive power than the Secretary of State.
No. That's not how it works. Elon is brought on as let's stop talking. Elon is brought on as a consultant, and he will bring ideas to the table. Now, if President Trump does not like it, they're not going to do anything with it. If they do, then they can. If they do, they can from their power as executive branch. Elon can't just say, I'm going to do whatever I want and it's done. That's not how it works.
So let me help you out, because either you plain dumb.
No. I said it right. Elon Musk has to. Hey, this is my idea. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? If they say nay, then it's not going to happen. If they say yay, then it does. If they have the power to do it. But ultimately, Elon is a consultant, and he will bring ideas to the table. He has no power to implement them.
No, he has no power to implement them. No power.
No, he doesn't.
No power at all. And he say if you don't submit this information could be terminated. Why Kash Patel was against it?
I don't know anything about what Kash Patel said about that.
Okay, you don't know why the National Security Advisor was against it.
I don't know anything about that. I've not seen those statements.
Okay, you don't. So let me talk, because you don't know. Who fired those who were in charge of the Department of Energy, who watch our energy, the nuclear stockpile? Who fires them?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
Okay, it was the DOGE, that particular agency that he managed. He said that he doesn't manage, but he managed. I don't even understand. He fires them, and the email.
So is Elon Musk? Is Elon Musk the one firing them himself?
Yes.
Or is it what Trump said on TV, which was Elon can say, "Hey, this should happen. Here's my suggestion." Stop talking. Shut up. Elon can say, "Hey, here's my suggestion." Trump says yes, or Trump says no, if Trump is able to do it. And if not, then it doesn't happen. If Elon had so much power as you say, then there's no need to go and ask anybody to do anything. He could just do it. But he cannot do that because he does not have that kind of power. It's simple.
So you will fire the people that watch our nuclear stockpile? Are you fire them? He fired 400 of them, and then when they called the White House, they didn't know who made the decision. The White House didn't know who made the decision. He fired those who were working in our lab to check for the bird flu. He fires them in a modern emergency where the chickens are dying because of the bird flu. He fires them. When people call the White House, they didn't know why they fire them. The people from the USAID fires them. They call the White House. They say he fires them. So pretty much, like
I said, stop talking. I'm gonna just mute you. Like I said, Elon cannot do any of that without approval. It's very simple. It's nothing. There's nothing more to say. So, do you have anything else you want to talk about, or I can hang up?
I have nothing more to say because
have a good night. All righty. Shout out to him. 504. Don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All righty, man. What's going on?
All right. Shout out to you in chat. I really appreciate the calls. And also, I want to thank you for the last time in the chat when you and the others told me happy birthday.
Right on, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it was yesterday. I had a good time, and I had a good time with the trial chat people that I'm with. It was like a big party over there, and I did a good stream on it. So basically, I want to say about these topics is that I do agree with the Elon situation. He's being shown as like a boogeyman type figure.
Oh, of course, because there's always a boogeyman, somebody to blame, somebody that the mainstream media wants to turn the public against because they fear that person will be effective, and they don't want anyone to be effective.
Right, and like with Eisen and his allegations with Elon. So, like from my interpretation, he's trying to say that he thinks that Elon might try to influence the president or get things done a certain way. But the thing is, it's alleged. I don't know if there's like any evidence to prove or disprove that. It would just be a hearsay thing.
Right on.
And also, I think that Elon seems to be doing, from what I can see, pretty well with the what he's doing, and also Trump and all these different people. And yeah, I just haven't seen anything true come out what these people are saying. But I think that they are doing good at cleaning up problems in the government, as I say it, other words, a code word. And the news and the media are being exposed, and they're going downhill. And whatever shady corruption is going on is ending, and the people are really angry about it. So they want to get the normies angry about it too.
Yeah, of course. That's the whole thing. They're just trying to influence the vote from the media. That's all.
Yeah. So also, I think with the black preacher you're talking about, I do agree that a preacher is supposed to be a role model for people, but it's blasphemy to have somebody like that to make a perversion of it and talk about all this race stuff, because people like need to go away from that. And, you know, they're the ones that are filled with hate, and they're trying to cause division in the country.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate they do that. They should use their pulpit for good, not for evil.
Right. And, you know, there's many hardworking Americans, just like in the chat, and certainly they should have benefits, I would think, if anybody would get them. But people that are not contributing or doing anything, you know, I think that it's a very flawed system to have it like that. So it was good for that lady that was calling all them out. It's good that she did that, and she has a social media platform to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in the South, I think that obviously, you know, New Orleans, I think, is a cool place to go. But yes, there are parts that may have, you know, places that people may want to avoid possibly, but there are very cool parts of it. And there's also nice beaches and stuff in the South to see.
Oh, right on. And, you know, that's pretty much anywhere. There's always going to be places to avoid and places to go. So that's pretty much standard.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah. And also, so did you say you went to New Orleans one time?
I've not been there, no.
Oh, okay. And, you know, something about cotton seeds is that they look they look like blue capsules.
You said cotton what now?
The cotton seeds for the plant
seeds, yeah.
They look like little blue capsules.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that they would be blue capsules. That's interesting.
Yeah. I didn't think that either. Yeah, and also I like the, you know, different jokes and stuff that you say. And with Joy Reid, I think that's basically karma, because, you know, she always said bad things with the white people and this creepy stuff with children seeing things they shouldn't be seeing. And, you know, I know some people on YouTube that are gay, but they're conservative, and they agree that children shouldn't see creepy stuff like that. Yeah,
she just spewed a bunch of hate and negativity. So it was only a matter of time. I'm glad that she's off the air. I think the whole MS-13 DNC should be taken off. That'd be my wish.
And also, you know, people could always do a YouTube channel and do it there, and if they want to be influencers. But it's like the people, if they don't like it, they're not going to watch them.
Exactly. You know, the whole thing about MSNBC, they have the money machine behind them, so they could just use money to put behind these people and make them be household names artificially. But when it comes to YouTube, social media in general, there's no artificiality. You got to be a person that people actually want to watch.
Right. You know, because they're just producing Temu content, and they have all the money to do that.
Right. Exactly.
All right. And that's all to say for this call, ABL. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All righty. Shout out to my man for the call, Alien Spaceship. Most certainly appreciate him, but that will be a wrap from me. Shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back live again on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time too, right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be a wrap from me. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, Rachel Maddow should be next. Rachel Maddow's a big cash cow. They will never get rid of Rachel Maddow as long as they're around. If they let go of Peyton Manning, Rachel Maddow, their whole network will crumble. If Rachel Maddow decided to retire or leave or anything like that, the entire MS-13 DNC will fall apart. I don't know why she's so popular. Well, I do know why. I used to watch her when I was real young, a little bit, when I was like an idiot and real young, like in my 20s, maybe I would say. But when I began to get more knowledgeable and I understood what was happening in the world more, watching her was like watching nails on the chalkboard. I couldn't do it anymore after a particular moment when I really just started to understand the reality of the world. I couldn't do it. And I don't see how people still do it now. If you are, especially like an older adult, I don't really get it. I don't understand. So yeah, shout out to MS-13 DNC. Hopefully they go the way of the Dodo Bird pretty soon. But that'll be a wrap for me. Thank y'all again for joining. This is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. And the audio is good. Everything is good this time. So y'all be able to catch this particular stream as an audio only version if you want that on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the box. Or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And shout out to y'all again for being here, for retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. Couldn't do it without you. I think I have one more super chat here. Thank you to Delorious for Delorious. I saw a bunch of different E's and I's and O's and whatnot. Dolores, thank you to Dolores for your super chat. I really, really appreciate you. But I think that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.